Well, hello.
Your microphone sounds amazing. Did you get a new mic?
Who?
You.
I made a few adjustments to my current mic, but
Yeah,
sounds
excellent.
Wow, it sounds
Buttery.
amazing. Yeah. Wow, I'm kind of jealous.
Buttery smooth.
Yeah. Okay. Wow, and even Galdrick is here on time.
What the hell?
So listen.
Yeah.
First off, fuck you in this meme. Okay. Number two.
You were late twice. Okay, I need to have something.
Okay. So all right. So Flynn wanted me. Boy, you don't have a sponsor right now, right?
No, not currently. I'm not, but you've made me incredibly nervous with that opener.
Okay, so Flynn wanted me to tell you that she wants you to know how much I love you and this session, because she is. We just finished a good 2-hour sesh. If you catch my drift, and we were just laying in bed, both naked, just chilling. You know, the aftermath, and I was like, well, babe, I gotta go. And she's like, wait, but what about round 2? And I was like, babe, listen, Galdrick calls. Okay.
2 hours? What do you do with the other hour and 58.5 minutes?
We watched TikTok.
Ah, fuck. That's yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
I dig.
An
Okay.
hour and 58 minutes and a half?
Yeah. Oh,
Whoa.
I meant 59.5.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought.
Sometimes
Jeez.
I mess those numbers up.
Okay, no, that's fine. No, that's just
Listen,
great. You know what? I'm gonna jump back on the Milton has tiny hands thing. I defend you so much, but this is what I
talking about me.
I was also talking about Milton and also me.
Oh. Well, in that case,
wow,
your
no,
hands
that's
are
cool, dude.
gigantic.
No, that's
No, your hands
that's
are huge.
cool, man. No, I get it, dude. Don't worry about it.
No,
That's awesome.
Yeah, you're huge.
No, that's wicked. Yep.
Gigantic.
Cool.
I thought you. Listen, I'm
How
just
about
so
that
used to
recap?
getting ripped on.
Yeah,
I'm so
how
used to
about
getting.
that?
I have
man.
missed you. I am not used to hanging out with people that are positive and kind and
Wow,
say good
dude.
things.
Wow,
okay, I'm not
bro.
used to this.
You hear that? You hear that? A guy gets married on the weekend. Can't even go a week without
fuck
his
off. I wasn't even
close
invited.
personal friend Venelis fucking him over. Can you believe that?
I wasn't even invited.
Unbelievable.
Fuck off.
Show up to the wedding. I can't even believe it.
Didn't even show up.
Yep.
Sent
I
both,
had to be the best man.
Sent both
Like,
an
literally, we had to
RSVP
just-
and an invite.
Yep.
Both.
Wait, no.
Yep.
And
What
I had to be
about-
the best man because you weren't
Uh-huh.
there.
I got vaccinated just so I could go.
Oh.
You know, it's okay. I went through the trouble of getting my passport all in order, waiting for an invite, and you know, I was, you know, it's okay. It's okay. I still love Milton, but you know, that's $200 I'm not getting back. You know, so.
I know. I got him the shittiest gravy boat off that registry. It's fine.
Consider consider that your wedding gift to me. You're welcome.
What, for not showing up? What do you want for your wedding? You not to be anywhere near it. That's all I want.
Oh no.
Oh man, guys, it has been a while since we played some Mar, hasn't
I
it?
don't even remember how to play
A
this.
fucking hot minute, man.
I know. Well, I changed the rules on you guys.
Oh, that's
for
right. Do we even
one
have character
episode.
sheets this go around?
No, you guys don't have character sheets. You don't even have rule sets. You guys have literally nothing. You don't even know what's going on. Like we had
slap
just
my ass.
upheaved
Let's do it.
everything. Yeah, I know.
right.
So just a forewarning. I had planned to do a giant recap of everything. I was gonna listen to the previous session and recap everything that was said. But my midday responsibilities bled over a couple hours longer than I was anticipating, and I literally finished writing the session during the pet picture intro. So
Nice.
Okay.
the recap is going to be a little bit light, and we'll deal with that how we deal with that.
Sounds
That's-
good, man. That's how we
So-
do.
Yeah.
So on another little side note, I just realized how long it's been since we've had a session.
Yeah.
Because about a month ago, I had a computer leak, right? My PC
that's right.
sprung a leak and it everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Well, it also dripped in the correspondence of where my headset is on its headset rack underneath my desk is right
Yeah.
where the leak sprang. and it got soaked. All of the water that leaked dripped onto my headset.
Ooh.
And I was gonna be like, oh, it's okay. He's gonna do his recap. I'm gonna put on my wireless headset and just go, get a drink of water, do my, that's what I usually do.
Yeah.
So I don't miss anything. And I picked it up, and it is.
Ooh, no.
I just realized that happened, and
oh no, man.
I don't know if you know what mold smells like.
Oh dear.
Not
Ooh, I
great.
do. Yeah, no, not good.
I gotta buy me some replacement ear pads. That's for sure.
Oh man, that
What a bummer,
sucks.
yeah.
Also, is it water in those liquid cooling systems?
Yeah, it's water, and it's just water, but it has like some
Electrolytes. It's what computers crave.
Oh, like Gatorade?
Yeah.
Just straight Gatorade in there, but it's got to be
blue,
blue.
is it?
It's got to be blue. Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
it's
blue
not.
Gatorade
No,
in
it's
there.
not
Okay.
blue Gatorade. That's not a flavor. It's Blue Blast.
Okay,
I am
well,
terribly
it's-
sorry.
okay,
No,
well,
it's-
this is
flavored like
awkward
blue.
because it was blue. Okay.
Oh.
Why are we quoting a documentary?
True. Well said. Well said.
Well, let's get to the back, the thing.
Okay, I will start by welcoming folks to our tabletop RPG stream called Monsters Ain't Real, where we use a homebrewed 5e improv system to enjoy some good old-fashioned RPG fun set in a steampunk universe. Fuck yeah! To anyone who's new, all the old episodes are up on YouTube, and the podcast is currently still being populated. More and more episodes up there. So we've got the podcast too. But first,
Hold on. Before you do the recap,
yeah.
I actually have I have a thing to add apparently,
Oh,
because people were memeing on how much I hate fucking steampunk and blah
Yeah.
blah blah.
Yeah.
So it turns out I apparently only despise specifically Victorian steampunk is what it's called.
Oh.
So I didn't know this. I thought steampunk was all encompassing, that really over the top golden gears, fucking magnifying glasses. Like I thought that was all steampunk, but apparently steampunk in the specific is just the world in which steam is the main source of power, not the cosmetics. I didn't know this.
I had no idea either.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought steampunk was all encompassing trash.
Yeah,
But someone was like, Full Metal Alchemist is considered steampunk, right? And I was like, wait, what? And they're like, yeah, go look at it. The whole world is steampunk. Like it's a steampunk universe. The whole world is steam. And they just don't use that cosmetic. That cosmetic that you hate is called Victorian steampunk.
I had no freaking idea.
Yeah.
Wow. Learn
So
something
I've
every
lightened up
day.
with the steampunk a little bit.
Yeah. Well, this
Fuck
is
Victorian steampunk.
yeah.
It's trash. Rest
let
of
me
it
just-
though, not too
yeah.
bad.
Yeah. Okay. So I have one addendum to make then. Monsters Ain't Real, where we are currently using a homebrewed 5e improv system to enjoy some good old-fashioned RPG fun set
Milton, why
in
is
a
he like
Victorian
this?
steampunk universe.
There we
when
go.
you were kids.
Thank you for making sure that I specify exactly what kind of steampunk this is, so that I know you hate it.
Gee.
Okay,
I'm just staring at the floor crying.
No bully Vanillus.
Yes.
Listen, that's the universe. It was Victorian steampunk before I knew he hated Victorian steampunk, and now he's just gonna have to finish his steampunk before he gets his red ice cream.
That makes sense. That's reasonable, honestly.
Exactly.
I don't even care. My chicken's gonna be here in 10 minutes. I don't give a shit.
Okay, so I do have a recap, and it is as comprehensive as I could remember based on the little bit I was able to listen to the last session. If you remember something, just interrupt me screaming a whole lot and just say whatever it is.
Is that during the
And-
narrative intro?
Yeah, during the narrative intro and at
Okay.
any other point ever.
Okay.
No, please don't do that.
No, go fuck yourself.
But yeah, if I miss something in the recap, just let me know. Okay, so blah blah blah. Disclaimer: I already said, didn't have time. Excuse. Apology. Oh shit, I was supposed to cry at this point.
Try a little bit if you can.
Okay, and I just really wanted you guys to
That's
have
good.
a good session.
That's good.
Just wanted you to have some fun.
Pull it back. You're losing them too much.
You're
my friends.
You're channeling Kirby now.
It's Kirby time for sure.
That's Kirby. We went full Kirby now. There's no
Yeah.
going
Love that
back.
guy. Love that guy.
Okay, last time you guys arrived in the Gold Ink itself on a giant floating city surrounded by a setting that is alarmingly Victorian steampunk. Listen, I googled when I described the world to you guys, when I described the city, I was looking at pictures of like Victorian England steampunk, like the literal description that I gave you guys.
I get it. We get it. We all get it. We all get it. We all get it.
Okay.
We all get it.
Okay.
We all get it.
Okay,
It's
good.
the worst. We get it.
Okay, so you guys arrived in this world, and then after catching a ride with Bob Chicago and the Go-Go Boys, you arrived in the palace of the city's gods. And there you met Odin, Thor, and Lucia. You were taken to a back room with Lucia to discuss the mission, and that's where you had kind of this massive dump of lore and information. And we kind of left with an imminent decision. Like, you guys are about to make a huge fucking decision, and time is a factor.
Oh shit.
So here's a recap of the stuff you learned and what you were thinking of doing next. Volos is currently holding every living being from the White Ink in a giant fortress.
Quick
With a
question, because
portal.
this is related. So,
Yeah.
because one of the things now, this is gonna sound fucked up. Okay, so I'm just gonna preface this by saying that this is purely posed as
Yep.
an inquisitive and probing nature into the lore, and not in any way representative of my own personal views.
Yep.
How many people are in the White Ink compared to the other inks? I mean, you know, we still got like 5 other inks. He's threatening 1/6 of the inks. Fuck him, dude. What the fuck?
And so, yeah, exactly. And so this was the thing that was kind of mentioned, but I don't know if it was driven home. He's not threatening to kill them.
Okay.
He's threatening to destroy them and their ink, such that they can never be rebound. There would be no rebinding of the prime ink. You guys would no longer be able to complete your mission. Ever.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Yeah.
Now I understand the direness of the situation.
Part of it is the massive loss of life. But the thing is, you guys want to kill everybody anyways with the rebinding.
Right.
Yeah.
This would destroy them in such a way that they would be dead, gone forever, and no way to rebind the inks. So that's
Got
why
it.
it's a big deal. Because of the unique properties of the black hole means that it would erase them, kind of thing.
See, Galdrick isn't super against that, because then he could just reshape all the inks in his image, the ones that.
Oh my God.
I did a pretty good job with the blue ink. That's all I'm saying.
Jeez, ever since you went to Reaper school, man, it's all been about remaking everything in your image. Reaper school was bad for you. The
Dude,
one thing they taught you not to learn is like the only thing you learned.
Dude, I'm just telling you right now, Draco could have been like a killer Ravenclaw, and look what we fucking got. All right. So they put Galdrick in the reaping school. All right. They
Yeah.
put fucking Draco in Slytherin. And look what happens.
I know. No, you're not wrong, man. You're not wrong. So yeah.
Draco. Dude, are you kidding me?
What the fuck?
You are literally Ocean Voldemort. That's what you are. You are 3 foot tall Ocean Voldemort, and don't try to tell me you're not.
Oh my God. Okay. So
okay, so
Volus
that explains
Yeah.
so that's he was saying I will kill everybody and destroy them completely and annihilate them, such that good luck with your mission, fuckhead.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly. So Lucia here in the Gold Ink, also known as Lu 4, knows of a way for you to destroy the black hole that would remove Volos's kind of like smoking gun kind of thing. Or I guess not smoking gun because it hasn't been fired yet. So the pre-smoke, the normal unfired gun,
Loaded?
that's precariously pointed where you don't want it pointed. But in order to do this, it will mean that all 4 of you will need to be planar keys. She can prepare you to become planar keys and teach you the ritual, But when you do it, it will draw Volos's counterattack extremely quickly, quicker than you can react. So when Volos shows up, because he's gonna show up when you do this, this is literally, you are countering his trump card kind of thing. When he shows up, you need to hit him with everything you have, just as hard as you can. Hold nothing back. Just, like, don't worry about secondary blowback. Don't worry about anything else. Just hit him with everything you possibly can and try to create an opening, just any split-second opening that you can to escape. Because even if all 4 of you are planar keys, he's too dangerous. He knows too much, and he has the cube, and you won't be able to beat him. So you need to hit him and then just escape in the moment that you stun him. And as soon as you do, you need to lock the planar keys in the chamber. Like, that needs to be part of the action, because he'll come for you. He will be aware of the fact that you're planar keys at that point. He'll know how to combat it, and he will take the keys. So you need to put them in the chamber because he can't get in there.
God. This is bad.
And we kind of ended with Lucia saying that time is incredibly important. At this moment, time is Volos's resource, and the more you waste, the more dangerous he becomes. So she is incredibly eager to get things moving. She is exactly 1 step ahead of Volos, and by losing time, you could lose that 1 step. So she's been kind of pushing you guys. She's like, okay, I'll teach you the ritual, and then I'll prepare you, and then you gotta go. And you guys were like, hold on, let me think 1 second. So you guys were trying to discuss a little bit of making sure you know what the plan is and see if there were any alternative plans, that you could think of. You had a couple plans. None of them really held a lot of merit, in that Lucia was seeing ways that Volos could kind of get around that. But that's basically where you guys are. You are standing in front of Lucia in the chamber in the back of the palace. And she has said, when you're ready, I will show you the ritual. I will prepare your bodies, and then it's go time. It's time to close the black hole, fight Volos, escape, and seal the keys.
Okay, now, okay. So, did any Thor or Odin have any like alternative plans?
So no, they're not even in the loop. They don't even know about this mission, because Lucia will be sacrificing her city.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, she will. The other gods will no longer be able to keep it. So she's going to pretend like nothing changed, and they're not going to understand why their city is not able to fly anymore.
Can you quickly explain how this is her sacrificing her power? Is it because she's giving up the planar key, which she is in the gold ink?
So yeah, so she is part of the planar key. She fragmented herself, kind of like the person in the green ink.
Gotcha.
Right?
Okay.
But she did it differently. She didn't divide the power and then put it into people.
Okay.
She divided the power and put them into things. So part of her planar key was in the gold thread that was woven into Lu's third eye.
Okay.
Part of the planar key is in Lu 2's goggles.
Okay.
Part of the planar key is Lu 3, literally the little gold buddy.
Okay.
And then the other part is in her crown. It's in the jewel in her crown.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so she could die, and the people who were homes to the soul could die, but they still wouldn't recover the planar key. And she scattered them, through the inks. She didn't keep them all in the gold ink. So it was her way of protecting the gold key from someone like Volos.
Okay. And now, if I'm not mistaken, Lu basically has access to 3 of those 4 pieces.
She basically, Lu is about to get the full key.
Yeah,
Lu
got it.
is imminently she's going to get all the pieces of the key, and become a planar key.
And so
what could go wrong?
And so that piece of the key that was in Lu 4's crown, the power that was imbued in it is what gives her city the ability to fly and maintain its like buoyancy or whatever.
Yeah, so basically their city is the biggest city and the most powerful city in the entire world.
Is it Azalon?
Asgard.
Asgard, Aslan, very different. Okay, Asgard, got it.
It's Asgard.
Okay.
And basically through her power and the power of Odin and Thor, the three of them, as well as all the steam engines that they have, that's what keeps it flying. So when she gives up her piece, the city will just not quite be able to stay up. It's not going to come plummeting to the earth.
Sure.
But it's just, it was enough power to keep it going. And yeah, it just won't have enough to maintain its altitude anymore.
Got it.
So her plan is to park it on a mountain, saying we need to gather a bunch of materials and then continually make up excuses on why they can't leave. And they'll just never leave. And it'll probably be revolts and
mutiny,
civil war
holy shit,
and all that. But she thinks that you guys will complete your mission before, they all die. And even if they do all die, I mean, they're going to die anyways in the rebinding. So
interesting.
It's just kind of a grim acceptance kind of thing. Yeah.
All right. Fuck.
So yeah.
I'm still not totally convinced we're the goodies in this fucking world.
We're the what?
I'm still not convinced we're the good ones in this universe. You know what
I mean? Yeah. So that's kind of the recap. So we will do the narrative camera, and then if you guys have any other questions, we can address those, and we can kind of get spun back up to speed.
Sure.
Okay. Time for the narrative camera.
I've missed you guys.
Missed you too.
Missed you more.
The camera opens on faith. The faith that the party carries from everyone they've ever met. The faith of Lu Tu. His unerring belief that the party has what it takes to see this journey to the end. His absolute conviction that they've come this far, farther than anyone else. They have to be strong enough to see it through. The faith of Kirby. Unwavering, pure, unquestioning faith in his friends. They're the most important people in his whole life. And if anyone can save everyone, it's you guys. The faith of Arinda, Tom, Betty. Having seen you guys in action and owing a debt of gratitude to all of you in some way. They have complete faith that you're the ones that will both save and fix the universe. The faith of Ula, Raisko, and Ramadant in the Green Ink. They saw you match Volos, match an Oberith, and literally go through hell and come back. The faith of the pantheon of gods in the Green Ink. Saloon, who gifted you her weapon. The faith of Bahamut for your divine forgiveness. And the faith of Ogma, who you hugged. The faith of Jack Cobb, now the Kraken and protector of the Blue Ink. The faith of Tickles the Devourer, once scourge of the seas, now right hand to Jack to protect the innocent. They've seen the power of you. They have no doubt of what you will accomplish. The faith of Lucia, greatest weaver in the known multiverse, who is so sure you will accomplish your goals that she will sacrifice her own world for you. If the people who you love and who love you believe in you, what could possibly stop you? If kings and queens, commons folk, children, friends, and enemies all believe in you, what could possibly stop you? Probably nothing. And so I say, charge on, you unstoppable force. You carry the faith of billions from the soil of your home to the gods of distant lands. And then we're back.
That was fucking cool. Holy shit. That was fucking wicked as fuck. What the hell?
Okay. I kind of hate you because you're very, you're very pump up. And the entire time I was waiting for you to be like, but.
No, yeah. You guys are fucking awesome. You guys have proven to so many people, gods, demons, the highest of the high to the lowest of the low, all fucking believe in you guys. You've convinced everybody.
But you didn't mention Gerby. Does Gerby care? Does he care?
He's dead.
He's
did I not
dead,
say
did you say?
Gerby?
Did you say Kirby? I don't know.
No, I guess I didn't. Gerby's in there too.
Okay, thank goodness. Okay,
Yeah.
great. Whew. Now we can go.
Yeah. I think I said. When I was saying kings and queens, common folk, children, I was talking about Gerby.
Absolutely. I'm
Yeah. I did not mention him by name.
I'm just poking at you.
Yeah. Okay. So you guys are inside the small back chamber of the palace in Asgard. Lucia's standing there, and she's basically told you guys.
Does anyone else think maybe we should get some practice first? It seems
don't
like
know.
a lot to kind of jump right into.
Usually with a key, it fits like a glove, like as you saw with Galdrick. So as long as I think you're attuned to it, it should be as easy as breathing.
Yeah, but Slump once thought that he could share a pair of pants with his friend Jeremy. It turns out he absolutely couldn't. Anyway,
Oh my god.
Jeremy got, and he's making like a scissoring motion with his hands.
Oh my god.
And then he's making the motion like food tumbling out of a barrel. All of his guts. Please, Slump! So when you say fits like a glove, Slump's not sure that he understands that expression. You follow?
Oh boy. Well, maybe I can assist with this. You have a brain, right? Why'd you laugh? Okay. Anyway. Okay. Well, once it fits, like a good pair of pants, it's as simple as thinking. The only practice you really need whenever it comes to using the power of a key is your imagination.
Slump is
And
drooling
your
slightly.
imagination is, I like to do like a very wide gesture, pretty fucking out there. So I think we'll be fine.
Wanna know how big it is, Mr. Teen Chat? One time Slump was gonna go eat a squirrel, and guess what he thought it was? No, hold on, wait.
I take the sugar out of Milton's hands.
Wow.
And Slump is now simply twiddling his thumbs as the rest of the party continues.
I love that.
So good. Thought he was gonna eat a squirrel. No, wait, hold on. Oh fuck.
I'm sure he'll be fine, buddy.
So
Yeah, you got this, Slump.
Lucia kind of looks at you and says, it would be great to have you take it for a test run and learn the limits of what you can do with it without being trained, but there just isn't time. And that's why I'm saying when Volos attacks, just go as hard as you can, and there will probably be collateral damage. I won't deny that. You will destroy a lot in your attempt to hold off Volos, but it's the only way that you can buy yourself enough time to escape.
Lucia, I hear you that we're really on a time crunch here, but is there any way, there's so much I want to talk to you about, is there any way we can communicate after this?
There will be time. You will go do this, you will succeed, and there will be one step after. We will discuss that after you're done this. I don't want to trouble your minds with that now, but after there will be one more step, and then we will have lots of time to talk.
This is just a stopgap to make sure Volos doesn't do what he's thinking of doing.
Okay.
Exactly.
I do want to stop Volos.
He
Fuck that
would
guy.
ruin everything.
He's a ruiner.
He is a ruiner. He's ruined just about everything all along the way.
Well, I'm ready. Give me my key. I'm ready. Let's do this.
Yeah, let's take it.
You're ready?
Does it have a seatbelt?
Sorry, so did you ask for a seatbelt?
Does it have a seatbelt? When you use it?
Can Slump get a seatbelt? Sorry, Slump needs seatbelt. Keep him in the seat.
If you want a seatbelt, Slump, you can think of one yourself. It sounds like Slump's pilot might need a seatbelt right now.
And Slump's pilot are fucking fine. For your information. And they're both ready for a seatbelt.
Okay. All right. All right. If you're ready, then we shall begin.
Ready is a very strong term.
Yeah, it really is. So we hit Volos. Well, we do the ritual. We hit Volos. We leave while he's staggering. We drop the keys off, and then we're ready to plan the next part.
Precisely.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'll now prepare you to receive the keys. And she has you all get down on one knee. And she walks up to you, Locke. And she touches your forehead with her index and middle finger. And you feel something strange, yet familiar. You've wielded Prime Ink before to augment your body and to augment your mind. You've been suffused with otherworldly power before, but you've never felt the touch of a planar key like this, and you've never felt your body changed in such a way. You feel full, like your meat fills out the skin tightly but comfortably, and you feel strong, like your muscles could tighten forever and you could move mountains. But you feel hollow. You feel like there's a gap inside of you. You feel like a lock ready for the key. And Locke, you are now ready for the planar key. And Lou, she then moves over to you. And she touches your forehead with her index and middle finger. And the golden thread falls from your third eye, Lou, and the gem in her crown stops glowing. And you feel a surge of power like a dam opening. It's overwhelming and crushing, or at least it should be. But there is a gentle guiding hand easing the rushing water into you. You had a taste of planar key power as the green planar key, but this one is meant for you. This is you, Lou. You can feel your thoughts touch reality, and where they meet, creation explodes. She takes her fingers off your forehead and she moves over to you, Galdrick. She touches your forehead with her index and middle finger. And Galdrick, it feels absolutely surreal. You only thought that the key returning to you was a sense of overwhelming power. And this is the difference between being a sword master and becoming the sword. You feel reality flow out of your fingertips. You feel thought and time and space flow between the strands of your hair. You can smell existence, and you can see the fractals of reality that shape creation. You fully accept and become one with the blue planar key within you. She takes her hand off your forehead, and she goes over to Slump. And Slump, she leans down, and she touches your cheek, and she whispers in your ear, "This will not be gentle. I am sorry for the pain, Slump. You are very brave."
What?
Then she stands up, she kisses your forehead, and then she puts her index and middle finger on the spot she kissed you with. And at first, it feels rapturous. It feels like eating all the magic you could have ever eaten while back in the White Ink. It feels like being satiated for the first time ever. The hunger goes away and you feel content. But then something deep within you rises up like an angry abyssal monster, and it tears away at your insides. It feels like fire with teeth trying to eat its way out of your stomach and chest. Your bones ache, your teeth clench, and you feel like you're going to explode and implode at the same time. You shake violently, your fingers crack the tiles as you find yourself down on all four. Rage overcomes you. Rational thought leaves. You become murder incarnate, and slump goes away. There is this brief moment where you are about to lash out and tear at everything around you, but then slump comes back, weak and clawing for control. The slump inside strangles the abyssal beast. You embrace the fire and the teeth. It scourges you, but you embrace it. You open your eyes, in control, but racked with pain overwhelming. You are ready to receive the white planar key, but only for a very brief period of time before the beast inside will take you over again. And Lucia backs up. And she says, "You're now all ready. Aldrich, you are the blue planar key. Lou, you are the gold planar key. The other two, you can go receive your keys at the bar. Please be swift. Talk to Lou 2 as little as possible. You need to get the keys and go. The ritual that you need to perform physically is very simple, but mentally is what is challenging and what matters. You need to get as close as you can to the black hole. Then you need to focus your energy on yourself and focus your energies on each other. It must be circular, the support of yourselves on yourselves and on each other. And you need to focus on the past, important moments that have meant something to you, and then focus on the future, a future that you believe, you are convinced you can make happen. Then you need to find your true strength, and it should reveal itself to you. And when it does, you need to focus on that with all your might. Forget everything else. Focus on your true strength. That should close. No. That will close the black hole. I can do no more for you. I no longer have power. And it's on you to make this happen. And she bows, and she says, "I'll see you afterwards." And she leaves the room.
No pressure, right, guys?
Fuck.
I think Locke just quietly gets up, and it's clear that he's trying to focus to get back, like channel energy to leave.
Yeah.
Like he knows Lou 2.
Yeah.
And if this is a part of him, this is serious, and he has to go. Like we got to do this.
When you focus your energies to leave, a portal begins to open from the other side. And you see a portal to the bar open. And it is the power of the green planar key reaching back to you, Locke.
I think he turns back to the party. He's like, "I think I'm ready to poke out a red eye. I'll see you on the other side."
So, real quick, before you do that, before you walk through the portal, Galdrick's been trying to think like of any fucking way to how to combat Volos. I've been racking my brain. No one else has a key yet, right?
Lou
They're all
does.
ready for it, but no one else is. Lou has like the
Right,
full.
yeah.
key?
Lou has the gold. Yeah.
Okay. I want to say, just literally give me 60 seconds. Lou, I want to try something.
What is it?
And without telling her what I'm doing, Galdrick thinks that the way the key works is based off of imagination. You know, that power, that that will of thought.
Yeah.
I want to use my power to suppress that imagination within Lou.
Oh, interesting.
I want to see if I can use all of my power to essentially keep her from thinking.
Very interesting.
That's super cool.
Lou. Okay, I'll tell you what, Galdrick, roll a d20 and you have to get a 15 or higher for Lou to not notice.
Oh, nice.
If she notices, then she has a choice to resist or not.
Give me a second. My desk is covered in wings. Flat 1d20. Here we go.
Okay.
Okay. Actually,
So-
this is probably good.
Yeah, so Lou, that's what I figured, right? Like if it's so quick that she doesn't even know, then you would succeed and not know that you could resist opposition. So Lou, you are suddenly aware of a power trying to suppress your thought. You
Okay.
feel like a haziness and a dullness start to overtake your mind. Would you like to allow this, or would you like to fight it?
I would like to fight it because I imagine Volos will.
Yeah. Okay. So now you will both roll d20s. Galdrick, you roll at advantage because you've been a planar key for longer,
Okay.
Nice.
and it's just higher number wins.
Oh.
Okay. Yes, with a natural one.
What could happen?
Yeah. So Lou, you basically you kind of turn off. You're just kind of standing there blankly staring. All input is just completely filtered.
Okay.
Nothing gets through. You're not receiving any input into your
Oh my
mind.
God.
Am I like in the
Um,
back of my mind at all, kind of thing, like observing, or am I completely absent?
It's basically a waking unconsciousness.
Yeah.
So your consciousness is now sleeping, but your body is awake.
That's cool. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, Galdrick, you just see her glassy-eyed, 1,000-yard stare.
Okay. After I see it work for 30 seconds or so, I'll stop it.
Yep.
I'm like, okay.
Ugh.
Sorry about that. I don't know if that's gonna work on Volos or not, but that's kind of all I've come up with.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
He's
I
probably
got the
had
idea from him, and I just pointed Slump.
What?
Don't worry about it.
Okay. Hasn't he been like really
The slump is flexing.
for like a long time though? Wouldn't he be ready for that?
He might be, he might not. Have you ever had somebody try to stop you from thinking? Like blind you, sure. Restrict you, yeah. Cut off your arms, sure. But to
No
stop
one.
the process of thought?
No one ever tries to stop Slump from thinking.
Okay. Oh boy, it's just not a whole lot to stop. Okay, listen. Maybe we should. Maybe it's time. Okay.
Okay.
To the bar.
To the bar.
Can I want to sort of know more, but without you maybe giving away any secrets or anything. I want to know more about how the white planar key is like manifesting itself in Slump. Can I like roll to see how Slump can sort of test where he's feeling the power? Is he just feeling better in every single way possible? Is it sort of the same way that you described it, like he feels fuller in his skin, like he could flex his muscles to infinity and shit like that?
Right now, you and Locke actually feel more like a hollowness because you don't actually have the key yet.
Yeah. Oh, that's
You guys
right.
have been prepared. Yeah. So you're gonna go to
I
the
see,
bar
I
to
see,
get
I
the
see.
keys. Yeah.
I see. Okay. Sorry. All right, Raj.
Okay. Would you guys like to proceed to the bar and get your keys?
I think so.
Let's do it.
Okay. Locke has already opened the portal and you all step through into the bar. And there is this look on your faces of, I imagine, grim determination.
Hero
you just
time.
went through hero time, and also I don't think any of that experience that Lucia gave you, and you know what you're about to do and what the consequences are, and so I think seeing the looks on your faces, Lutu, Orinda, Tom, and Betty, they just kind of step out of the way and nod their heads, and Locke, you do catch out of the corner of your eye. You do see Lutu, and you don't often see him without his goggles on. He does take them off every now and then. He doesn't live with those goggles on, but never in front of company. And this time you do see him in full view of everyone else, with just his brilliant, deep blue eyes kind of looking up at you as you walk by. Just admiration and pride in his eyes.
I think Locke he keeps walking. Like he it's not like he doesn't want to say something, but this is too important.
Yeah.
I think if anything, if he does say anything, it would be as he leaves. And probably along the lines of, "Don't forget me and I love you."
Yeah. And I think you walk into the chamber, and you touch the hand of the divine building with the green key in it, and it just swirls into you. It just becomes part of you, like as if it was not where it should be, and now it is. And you feel power that is hard to describe, because you've had the power of creation, and technically Prime Ink is more powerful than a planar key, but this is limitless. This doesn't have a usage number, or it will never dry up. It is infinite power of creation and control. And so it is at once different and the same to what you've felt. And Slump, when you touch building and you get the white key, it starts to flow into you. And then that beast from down below kind of grabs it.
Oh, fuck.
And it's in you. The white key is in you, and you can wield it, but you kind of have to wrestle it away from this beast inside you, this darkness that wants to consume and destroy it. You kind of have to fight with it in order to even feel the presence of the white planar key.
Sure.
And to answer the question, like where you feel it, you kind of feel it in your lower chest, but it's kind of like your whole chest.
Interesting. Like the
It's
whole
kind of
fucking
where
thing
you
got
feel
turned
it.
into an engine.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
And now all four of you are planar keys, and you're ready for the next step. You guys need only to travel to the black hole.
Godric, I was thinking, with your trick of turning off his thought, what if another one of us kind of replaces it right away, like some sort of, quick swap, like as if we're replacing maybe an idol in a cave, and there's a boulder maybe coming down for us, But yeah, so it seems like we're still fighting him, so maybe he'll resist less.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay.
Like practicing some sort of like thought kung fu where you put the person's thought out and put a new one in. Like you could make Volos think, hey, I want to be friendly now.
Oh, that too. I was just gonna say have him fight an imaginary foe of us, but that's true. Maybe we just change his mind.
Oh, maybe that's not so easily done.
Oh, fair.
Seems like a pretty stubborn guy.
That's true. Okay.
Well, Joey, is there anyone else we can talk to about getting some tips on how to fight him? Slump's never really fought a guy like.
And he's doing like the not precisely like this. He's alluding to the copyrighted intellectual property of Jack Sparrow hands. he's imitating Volos, so he's like,
Slump's never really fought anyone who does the whole, Slump's never. Slumps never fought someone who's all. So should we? Is there somewhere we can go to practice to learn how to fight that?
I don't think there's time. Yeah, sadly.
Oh boy.
It's okay.
All
Come here.
right.
I give you 10 seconds. Come with me into the chamber. I want to run inside the chamber.
No, it's delicate in there. No,
It's
yeah,
fine.
you're right. You're right.
Come here.
Okay, what?
Okay, once we're inside are we inside the chamber?
Yeah, you guys are inside the chamber.
I just throw a fireball right at his fucking head.
Oh my god. What is the first thought that crosses your mind as soon as you see a fireball coming towards you, Slump? Just first thought.
Scream it into pieces.
Yes.
Yep.
Roll a d20, Slump. Slump basically does a Fus Roda that causes like the walls of the chamber to shake as the fireball explodes into tiny little pieces that pop into little multicolored fireworks.
Look at Slump. Training's done. You got it. Any questions?
No, well, Slump was just gonna try to shout Bully Dog into pieces then as soon as he sees him.
Sounds good. We got this, bud. Come on.
All right.
Time's of the essence.
Okay.
And
I'll run out.
yes, Slump would prepare for the better thinking members of the party to prepare the next stage of the plan. Slump should probably not be the one making the strategic decisions.
I put the monocle in his eye.
Slump can most definitely say he should not be making the decision. Yes, definitely not. Definitely not.
Oh, if actually somebody could vamp for me for 30 seconds, I really need to wash my hands.
Vamp.
Well, I guess the question honestly is which one of you would like to open the portal to the black hole?
Oh, true. Well, the black hole's in the white ink, so maybe it should be Slump that would open it. I
Yeah.
think,
I get that.
I think that it would be, confusing in every which way for Volos, because I'm sure that Lou, no offense, didn't have some monopoly on being able to like perceive the existence of ink. So I think Volos had a pretty accurate perception of Slump's capacity to wield power like this and probably assumed it was nil. Now, I think it would just be the element of surprise would be better, because it's not like he'd go, oh fuck, that's Galdrick. Like, I know what Galdrick's power level feels like, and now he's got a key. It would be, what the fuck is this opening the portal to the white ink? He'd have no fucking clue. So I think it just makes sense to be Slump.
Yeah. Okay, Slump, roll a d20 to open the portal.
We have company over. I can't do that.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
Wow,
Ooh.
okay. Slump, you think of home.
Oh.
You think of your home in Cowhearth. You think of where you met everybody and the adventure that you've been having. And you think of home. And when you kind of reach your hand out, you feel that darkness inside kind of reach up, like there's going to be power used and it wants to use it.
Oh God.
But with a simple thought of home, that darkness is completely squashed, and you move your hand in kind of an instinctual gesture, and a portal opens up to the frozen north of Cowhearth, where the black hole is, and it's very close. You have been very close to this black hole. In fact, you've been inside it and torn apart by it.
True.
So probably some not so fond memories of this spot.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh my God.
And you guys step through the portal, and you are in front of this giant half of an orb. Half of it is inside the planet, and the other half just kind of towers above you. And there is this pull, this this very, very bad pull from the black hole on you guys as you step onto the snowy ground and witness this giant black hole in front of you.
Fucking crazy. What, is there any sound?
No, there's the only sound is kind of like you know when you play Phasmophobia and you go inside the house. There's that
Oh
kind
yeah,
of like,
that. Ooh, yeah. Oh, dude.
kind of sound.
Okay.
There's just kind of that
my
where it's just kind of
God.
like pressure on your ears kind of thing.
Oh fuck.
Is
Okay.
the only thing that you really feel is that pressure on your ears, and other than that, there's nothing here.
Fuck.
And you guys are ready to do the ritual.
Okay, let's get as close as possible here. Can we see where it's okay to stand? Can we kind of identify where it's safe?
Not really. You just know that it doesn't feel very good where you're standing.
Yeah.
Slump has an idea.
Okay.
We're gonna pick where we're gonna go. Let's pick that. Let's pick.
So do any spots look a little more stable, like a little piece of fucking pavement that's formed a circle or somewhere, some little pad that's just flat, or is it all just horrible falling apart like a fucking pie crust?
It's kind of more like a giant pristine snowscape with no trees, no nothing, just snow sitting around.
Okay.
And it just kind of ends abruptly in black hole.
Okay, holy fuck.
So you can kind of walk, you could theoretically walk up to the event horizon.
Oh god, dude. No, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Slump. Yeah, okay, so all right.
Well, then Slump thinks we should. He's gonna feel us. We're all here now, and the time is ticking. Slump thinks we should join arms and support each other, and then Slump thinks that we should look each other in the eyes and say something that we like about each other. And remember that as soon as he pops up, even if it's while we're talking, we hit him with everything we have right away. Hold nothing back, nothing whatsoever.
That's true, but we got to make sure to close we want to make sure to close the hole
No,
first.
fuck the hole, fuck the hole, throw him in the hole. Okay, let's close the black hole. Let's go, join arms.
Oh god. Okay, so I oh boy. I just thought okay. Hit him with everything we got, right, Slump?
After we close the black hole, yes.
Okay, after we close. Okay. All right. Let's do this.
Deep belly breaths, everybody.
The first thing Galdrick will do is he wants to use a little bit of planar. Will that attract if I use any planar out here?
You guys will have to use 100% of your planar energy
Close the hole.
to close the black hole.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I was gonna think about putting up like a essentially like a veil is a good way of putting it. Put up like a you don't know where we are, you just know it's in this vicinity sort of thing.
Yeah, I think that would last for a little bit, but eventually you will be using 100% of your power for this.
Gotcha. In that case, I'll put up a veil, and that'll be the last thing I take down because I'm feeling he's gonna come in the midst of this one. Buy us as much time as we can.
Okay, perfect. Roll a d20 for the veil.
Okay. Okay. I grab a handful of snow and I just throw it up in the air.
Yeah.
I would drop that, yeah.
Slump smacks Galdrick in the back of the head. Stop fucking around. This is serious.
Okay, I'm sorry. I've never seen snow.
Okay. Do you guys link hands?
Yes.
Yes.
Focusing our energy on ourselves and each other.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. You guys link hands. And you begin to think about yourselves and each other. And you feel the black hole pull on you even more strongly. It's like it's gaining strength as you focus. And you focus on the past. And I need each of you to tell me something, one thing, anything about the past of the campaign that meant something to you. anything. And we will start with Lou. What's a moment of the campaign, any moment at any time, that has meant something to you?
I'm getting back to the bar after the where we're all together again kind of thing. So we've got everyone, Kirby, Orinda, and Tom, and Betty, as well as Locke and Galdrick and Slump and Lou, too. Everyone together in the bar in that kind of safe space.
And when was that?
I want to say the one that was right after the green ink, before the blue.
Yep. You remember this time and this sense of
Togetherness
and belonging and safety. And you feel the power swell. Galdrick, tell me a moment that meant something to you from the campaign.
Oh boy, it's a tie. It's a straight up tie. Fuck. It's I have two moments that are like really like key for me in this campaign that are just like awesome.
If you want both, you can use both. You can draw on multiples.
Okay, let's do it then. Obviously when I figured out that Bishop's Bane was the key.
Yeah.
That feeling of like, you are the one all along. Like that.
Yeah.
Like that like, oh, that was so freaking amazing.
That was incredible, unbelievable.
Yeah.
The musical cue, man. Anyways, but the other moment I would say was when Slump leapt into the black hole and I chased after him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That camaraderie, that I'm not leaving you behind. Fuck you. You ain't done yet.
Yeah. Absolutely. And you remember in both cases the sense of being important and mattering. And that sense of mattering to someone and being important to someone is this power that causes it to surge within you. You feel more power than you've ever felt before. Locke, why don't you tell me a moment from the campaign that meant something to you?
I think it's several moments. Locke has always been kind of the support character, and this isn't the first party to come across his bar, you know?
Yeah.
But this is the only one that has made it as far as it has.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of memories of the ones who just never made it back. I think the first memory would come from him making a home in the green ink for them when he first arrived. And just trying to be the support guy, but I don't think he's never ever in a long time had to be that sassy with someone in the party. Like, this is millennia since he's had to do that. And I think to some extent the party drives him a little crazy. Like, logic just goes out the window. But somehow, some way, we always manage to pull through. And I think the thing that kind of sealed the deal with Locke was when Galdrick came after him when he had passed away in the blue ink. And
yeah.
And to the extent that Galdrick and the party was willing to go to save him, even though he barely knows any of them, and all he's really kind of done has been like the M, you know, like in James Bond, just the M for the party. And I think that kind of sealed the deal for him, that he wouldn't have it any other way. These are his friends. Though they may drive him nuts, he loves them without any reservation.
Man, I love that. I can't even add anything to that. That is just that thought, that feeling, that realization, and the thousands of years that you've had to choose those ones. Again, you feel this power kind of surge within you. And Slump, what is a moment in this campaign that has mattered to you?
So I thought of something maybe for a little bit of flair that I think would make sense for Slump, because I think Slump has a hard time remembering things in like logical, chronological order. Given his perhaps not astronomical, he's not an intellectual giant. He may be a physical giant, but he's not an intellectual giant. So yeah. I like to think that his ability to do this, his ability to channel this, is half memories and half storytelling, because I wanted to combine two memories similarly to how Galdrick did, and that is the memory of the first time that they formed their combined power form.
Yeah.
What was the context around that very first time that it ever came out?
That was when Galdrick jumped into the black hole.
That's what I thought. Was that when we reemerged?
And the Phoenix Tear was supposed to save you.
Right.
But it didn't work properly because of the nature of the black hole. But with Galdrick there as a void angel, there was a tearing and a shifting and a reforming that had you guys emerge from the black hole as Neoni.
That's what I thought. Okay, so which I thought lined up nicely, because now we're at the black hole, and that was that's what I think is one of Slump's most powerful memories. And then this is gonna hit you from nowhere. I like to think that when Slump is imagining this, he's imagining himself with Galdrick and their consciousnesses entwined, re-emerging as the Neoni form, and then running as fast as their like shadow form body can possibly take them, blinding speed, to end up at the pub on Great Day, sitting next to Birdie, laughing about who knows what, insanely, with a pocket full of fireworks, just laughing insanely, in sort of like a Harry Potter photograph where the subjects are always sort of doing the same thing in the photo. That's what I like to think is just Slump and Birdie sitting there in that fucking tavern, or sitting there under the tent on Great Day, just laughing and laughing mirthful laughs. And that's what Slump focuses on.
Yeah, and I think there's this overwhelming sense of like friendship, and friendship not in just people who hang out, but friendship in people who matter. And there's this warmth and love and strength in that, and the darkness inside of you, it kind of screams as it is being pushed further and further down, and it has less and less control, and you feel like you are grabbing hold of the white planar key and you are wielding its power.
Fuck yeah.
And you guys have thought of the past and things that mattered to you a lot, and the pulling from the black hole is now so intense that your bodies are starting to warp. The gravity of the black hole is now to a point where if you were normal people, you would have been destroyed, and you are being instead twisted and bent and blurred by the pulling of the black hole, and it's threatening to destroy you.
Sorry, I didn't know if this is can I interject with an action here as this is going on?
No.
Okay,
this is you guys are kind of part, this is as the ritual kind of proceeds.
Gotcha. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
And now you guys remember that you must focus on the future, and now you need to think of something that you know you can accomplish something you can visualize having done in the future beyond this moment now. Think of something that you know you can do, a goal that you're not hopeful of, you're not confident in, you are certain you can do after the black hole is closed. One moment in the future with absolute certainty that you know you can do. Lou, what is one moment in the future you are absolutely certain you can make happen?
Well, I was thinking too far down the line initially, about a kind of combined consciousness of whatever's going to happen once we're all the pieces from each ink are combined back into the prime. But that's almost, I don't know that that's a visualizable thing yet. So instead, I'm going to take it back further, and I'm going to just visualize having done this and going and reporting back, and asking more questions. I just really want to ask more questions of Lucia. So I'm saying this is complete, and I'm on to the next thing where I have time to talk and learn.
Okay, awesome. So now give me that visualization. What does it look like? What do you see? Give me the visual of what you see in the future. Tell it to me in as much detail as you can give about this moment in the future that hasn't existed yet, but you will make exist, guaranteed. What does that look like?
It looks like being in the bar is the safe place, so that's where I go for sure. And I see us all around one of the tables, and all just doing that kind of talking and planning part. And hopefully Lucia is able to be actually physically there, but spoken to somehow. So yeah, all of us around the table. We've got time. You know what I mean? No one is looking rushed, and so I can see us all around the table in safety.
Okay, much like your vision of the past, this safe haven, this place of friendship, love, comfortability, you can see so clearly the bar that you've been to so many times. You know it's there. You know it will be there. You know that your friends will be there. And you know, after this black hole is gone, you will be there too. It's going to happen. And there is this rush of power that kind of threatens to overtake you, and it kind of does. But the support of everyone else around you means that it doesn't get carried away. And next, Locke, give me a moment in the future after the black hole is closed. Something. It's not maybe, it's not probably, it's definitely. What is a moment in the future that you can visualize that will happen after the black hole is closed?
I think it's very similar to what Lou was mentioning, because like after Lou did what he did with Locke, the bar's all he's known.
Yep.
But like the bar is going to be there. The bar is going to have the people he loves in them. The bar will be a place of safety and comfort, and he know that he'll be surrounded by not only a welcomeness, but the people he loves, and that is worth protecting. That is worth risking everything for that future in his mind.
And what is the visual image that you see? What does this look like? What is this manifested visual image that crystallizes in Locke's mind that says, this is real?
The bar, I imagine the bar right now in its current state kind of looks more like a workshop than a bar. Like there's
absolutely.
a bar section, but there's tomes, there's a library section, like with a fireplace where they just record and read and try to learn.
Yeah.
There's the workshop where he tinkers and tries to make magical items along with Lou, and there's Lou where he tinkers, like they have their own spot.
Yeah.
There's the bar, there's the chamber, there's like it looks very much like this was made with some comfort in mind, but ultimately this is a place to a forward operating base, if you would, for this type of thing.
Yep.
But in his mind, of the moment that this is what's going to happen, the bar actually looks comfy and warm, more so than it does now. There's actually kind of a warmth to it. There's not outer space outside the windows. There's sunlight and trees and grass and the sound of a city outside and people just going throughout their day. And Lou, in whatever manner he is after the bar is put together, is at his side with his friends at a table and just kind of enjoying each other's company.
And this image is so strong, so perfectly crystallized, and you're so certain that this is what's going to happen. It's not a hope. It is a guarantee. It is as real as if it has already happened. And this power, again, just surges in you. And it's too much for you. It's too much power. Like you have no control over how much power this is. But because your friends are there helping you and the power they have, it is contained and it is not lost and it does not lose control. Slump, what is a moment in the future you know is going to happen? What is an image, a certainty, a definite that you know is going to happen?
So Slump envisions a great day where everyone has come to town, everyone from the party is in town, and in this particular vision of the future that Slump has, Galdrick is riding on his shoulders, and they're dressed up like the main characters from Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? In like old-fashioned-y, like fucking, what am I thinking? Not overalls, coveralls. What are the fucking things? The belt things over the shoulders?
Oh,
straps?
suspenders.
Suspenders, thank you.
Yeah.
Wearing suspenders and sitting on a dock at a lake in the white ink with Kirby teaching Slump how to fish, and people walking by on the path behind them thanking Kirby for his valiant efforts in defeating Volos and bringing peace and justice to the galaxy. And Slump, even in his thickedness, understanding that maybe Kirby didn't have a huge part in doing it, but still happy for him to take the for him to celebrate his success. And so that's what Slump pictures, sitting there on a dock in the white ink with Kirby teaching Slump how to fish, with Galdrick on his shoulders, and people coming by and thanking thanking Kirby specifically for like shooting the black hole out into space or something like that.
And this image is just so real, and Slump is so convinced that it's absolutely real. And that darkness, it's like a scream 1,000 miles away. You almost can't even hear it anymore.
Fuck.
And you have both hands on this white key now, like in your mind. You have absolute control over this, and the power is overwhelming. It's too much. You literally can't handle it, but you don't worry because your friends are here supporting you, and that power is managed and it is spread and it doesn't overtake you and it doesn't run away. And Galdrick, what is a moment in the future that you know is going to happen? What is a visualization you have that is unquestionably certain?
Are you sure you want me to answer?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is after we close the black hole.
Yeah.
Can I picture two things?
Absolutely.
I picture killing Volos.
Now I'm going to need to know what that looks like. What is this visualization? This is not just knowledge of I'm going to kill Volos. What is the visualization of killing Volos?
Dragon Ball Z fight. We're duking it out. Battle of the Minds.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it ends in a very John Wick fashion. He doesn't get a final word. I just fucking kill him. And then I just visualize 1,000 different ways that I kill Volos. I am very eager for that day because I have not liked him since day one of this campaign. I made that very clear. I was like, no, this is a baddie, y'all. Stop making deals. I picture killing Volos with my own hand, and then the other thing that I you think this is a meme? Oh, it became so real. I picture reshaping the worlds in my image. For good.
All of the worlds?
All of the worlds.
Oh my god.
And I picture essentially taking over what Volos had planned.
Yeah.
Except doing it right.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Oh.
This is not a hope. This is not a maybe. This is not a if I can. This is an I will, and this is a definite.
Yes.
And in your mind, you picture fighting Volos, and as he comes up with his silver tongue to say the next thing that will change your mind, it's cut off at the start as you cut him down and you take his place. And you see yourself as Lord and Master of the 5 realms, reshaped in your image.
Oh my god.
This is
Galdrick,
fucking
the last
awful.
boss.
With justice, balance, and fairness.
Yes.
This is 1984. This is fucked. This is fucked. This is fucked.
3 years ended like this.
And
this
you are
story.
you have this surge of power, and again, it's too much, but everybody helps and it's maintained. And as you guys are standing here facing the black hole, which is now much closer than it was before, and it is pulling on you guys so hard, the borders of you begin to disappear, and the selves that you are kind of don't exist anymore in a physical sense. And all that's left is yourself. And it's the only thing you can think of. It's the single strongest aspect of yourself. That's all that remains at this point. And I need you to tell me, what is that last thing that remains? What is that last aspect of you that remains? After everything else is torn away, everything else has been destroyed and erased, what is the last remaining aspect of you that remains? What would be the last thing to be destroyed? Lou, let's start with you. It's just an aspect of you. What is an aspect of Lou? What's the last strongest aspect of Lou? The last thing that would hold out upon destruction?
I think it's not what she would expect, but I think it's what was able to kind of come to the forefront in this situation, where in other fights, other dire circumstances she's found herself in, she's had that level of uncertainty and worry. Is this going to turn out? And I think the last thing that's holding on here is this kind of like unshakable will that was always underneath those. That's why she would stay in those situations, even though she was uncertain. And so here, that's all that's left, is that will to see this through. So just that will to get it done.
I hate you because that was mine.
Oh.
You can have the same thing. You can
Shut up.
all.
I don't want it.
Whatever. Yeah. Don't anticipate where I'm going with this. Do what you do, and don't anticipate what comes next.
Totally.
And Lou, as everything is rent and almost nothing remains, one thing does, and it is an unshakable will. It is a will to not up, and it is a will to continue on. Locke, what is your last remaining aspect of Locke?
I think, at least for me, it's pretty easy, and I know this is going to sound kind of cheesy, but I feel that Locke is like the emotional one in the party. But seeing, like, just with his story that, you know, he's been with this man Lutu for millennia, and that is, there's got to be some quality of love there to do this, try to save the universe with someone that you thought was crazy when they first said this, but for whatever reason you trusted him. And even though the party tends to defy all logic or don't think things through, he's still here. He still worries about them. He still hopes that they make it back to the bar. So I think with Locke, it would be kind of the love that he has invested or wants to show the people that he cares about.
I love that. And as everything else is torn away and destroyed, aspect of being ceases to be, knowledge, awareness, complexity, everything is destroyed, and there's this one thing left. It's not Locke. It is the aspect of Locke that is left. And that one thing left is love. And it is so strong, and it burns so hot, and it is impossible to stamp out, and it remains. Galdrick, what is the last aspect of Galdrick that would remain after everything else is destroyed and torn away? What is the last aspect of Galdrick that would remain before just being destroyed completely?
Justice.
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 That makes such perfect sense. As everything that is Galdrick and has been Galdrick in the many lives he's led and the many missions he's gone in, the many stories he's been a part of, the many stories he's ended. All those aspects of Galdrick are torn away. Awareness, ego, sense of self, all this leaves. And the only thing left is not Galdrick. It is simply an aspect of being, and the only thing left where Galdrick was is justice. And Slump. What is the last thing that would remain of Slump?
I was wondering if this was one that was going to get taken, and I'm happy that it didn't, because this is the first one that came to my mind, because this is the sort of thing that I think Slump carries forward. Is it's almost an aspect of like Samwise Gamgeeism, and that is hope. I think Slump has always felt confident that like they'll figure it out. Like they'll whatever the way forward is, they'll find it. even if it's painful and even if it requires searching to find each other or to figure out the correct way to go, the correct path forward, that Slump never, ever, ever gave up hope. He was always confident that things were going to work out. So I think that is the last thing that would remain of Slump, would be hope.
And as Slump is destroyed and everything that was Slump and everything that could be Slump is dismantled, there's just one thing left. And it's not Slump. It's not a person. It's not a thing. It is an aspect. And that aspect is simply hope. Hope that holds out until the absolute very end. And this is basically the end in a lot of ways, as you aren't there anymore. None of you are. You are gone, but the aspect of you remains, and while the aspect remains, the key remains. And there is a rebinding. And you've been told before by Lucia that the power of the black hole was what was needed to rebind the inks. And what happens is a rebinding. And the four planar keys are bound together into a kind of proto-prime ink. And that power, while it's 4/5 of the full thing, is so strong, the four aspects of justice, love, hope, and an unshakable will takes on a new being. A being comprised of the four planar keys. And I would like you each to roll a d20. I'll tell you when. And you need to roll above a 10 or above. Galdrick?
Phew, good job.
There is a thunderclap as these four essences, these four aspects, and the rebinding of the four keys takes just a modicum of shape, and the black hole shrinks just a little bit. It backs up against nothing. There was just a clap, and the black hole shrinks a little bit. Lou?
Rolling. Ooh.
And there's a shake in the center of the earth. This rumble that kind of comes up and out of the ground. And the aspects, the four aspects and the four keys begin to take on a twisting shape. It doesn't really have a visual aspect now, but it is a presence that is so powerful that the black hole shrinks noticeably. It begins to diminish in the face of this presence. Slump.
Whew.
And that presence, this presence of four keys and four aspects, takes on a physical form that is just barely perceptible. Its shape and definitions aren't clear, but it becomes to take a form that is impossible to behold. And as such, the black hole shrinks now. It is the size of a house. It's tiny compared to what it used to be, and it's shrinking and it's dying. Locke.
I think to lock. Don't fuck this up.
Oh, we all rolled above 10. No fucking way.
Roll
No way.
above 10. There is an explosion. And then absolute silence. The explosion is cut mid-sound, absolute silence. As a new single being forms.
What?
It is reminiscent of Neoni, but it is so much more. The boundaries of it, you can't see where they are, where it starts and where it ends, but it is a single being that I have dubbed Meta Neoni. It is an embodiment of justice, hope, love, and unshakable will with the power of 4 planar keys. And the black hole is completely gone.
Holy shit.
And you guys all have an aspect of consciousness. You are all present here in this being, in Meta Neoni. You are all there and can act independently.
Holy fuck.
That's crazy.
Oh my God.
I've waited for this.
Meta Neoni is born into the world. More power than any universe has ever seen. It's more power than anybody can even comprehend. And as soon as Meta Neoni is born, a red portal opens up.
Oh fuck.
And there is a sound that comes from it.
May I take an action?
You may take an action.
The moment that red portal opens up, I want to reach up both of my hands and I want to pull his 2 underlings through the portal and just dismember them.
Oh my god.
Can he do that?
Roll a d20 plus 4.
Whew.
Oh.
And this being, this Meta Neoni, extends 2 hands forward, but they're so far away from the portal that as Volos begins to step through, it doesn't look like he's in any danger. But then Mitra and Vetha are yanked through the portal and just evaporate.
Oh my god.
Oh dang, that was easy.
Yeah, I just endgame the 2 of them. Just
Holy fuck. Is there any noticeable reaction on the part of the being that just came through the portal?
Volos?
Yep.
As you're now all planar keys, you can now see his red eye.
Sure.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And it is unblinking, staring from under the hood, just staring directly at
God,
you.
that's so unsettling. Fuck.
And there is no grin on his face.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
finally.
Holy fuck.
And as he steps through, let's go in order. Lou, you can take an action next.
Whoa. I kind of want to ready a thing if I can. Could I give Galdrick advantage if he tries the thinking, the thought suppressor move?
I mean, yeah, sure. You guys are Meta Neoni. You can do whatever the fuck you want.
Hey. So the idea would be that it's like harder for him to contest because he can't really tell that it's happening because the illusion is happening at the same time, kind of thing.
you're effectively casting bless on me. I want to make that clear.
Basically,
Thank God.
yeah.
True to myself, man. True to myself.
As Metaneone, as incorporeal and impossible to define as it is, this kind of clawed hand reaches out and back into its chest, and it kind of carves a symbol into its own chest.
Oh my god.
And it is now blessed for when the Galdric aspect, for when the Justice aspect uses its ability.
Oh, I love when somebody said in chat, they said it's called True Bless.
Oh, that's very good. That's very, very good.
I love it. The unshakable will of Metaneone casts True Bless on the Justice aspect of Metaneone. Slump, the aspect of hope of Metaneone. What would you like to do?
Can I, summoning all of the conscious willpower that Slump can possibly exert on every multi-dimensionally available particle of this being, to let out the absolute most fearsome war cry known to any dimension, to hopefully either inspire and or inspire our party and or demoralize Volos.
Okay, I'll let it both inspire and demoralize. However, the demoralize will be contested.
Okay, sure.
So roll a d20 plus 4.
Oh,
That's gonna be tough. Does
yep.
not succeed.
I want you to describe it narratively.
Yeah. So the aspect of Metaneone that is hope summons forth all of the power of 4 planar keys, which no being ever has witnessed, and it lets loose this roar that cracks the ground, and as parts of the planet just fall away. The crust of the planet shatters and floats into low orbits. As Volos stands there looking unblinkingly at you.
Oh my god.
And the roar winks out his red eye.
Oh, dang.
What do you mean by
And
winks out?
He's just a being with a cloak.
He's just
Oh
some
my
guy.
god.
He's
What
just some
the-
guy.
Holy shit, man.
And a second later, the eye does come back, but it kind of fizzles and then pops back.
Fuck.
And you can tell that it was an effort. And now it's a little bit less vibrant. And
oh shit.
you can see that Grimace looks just a little bit uncertain.
Ooh.
And he will now be rolling his next roll at disadvantage.
Hey, fuck yeah.
Locke, what would the aspect of love of Metaneone like to do?
I think, true to Locke's fashion, he charges up a fucking beam weapon. Like he is ready to fuck. Like
Yeah.
Like every time he's run into him, he's had a gun pointing at him, and I don't think it's gonna be any different, especially with fucking Mechaneone.
Yeah. Okay. You unleash a beam. Roll a d20 plus 4. He's rolling at disadvantage.
Ooh.
Ah, rotten luck.
Metaneone lifts up 2 hands and forms, kind of with the fingers, this symbol in front of its face. Then 2 more arms form another symbol below those hands. Then 2 more arms and 2 more arms and 2 more arms again, until it is a line of symbols in front of Metaneone. And from them, this energy is concentrated as the aspect of love of Metaneone unleashes this beam that just slices through the earth like there's nothing there. It just cleaves existence. It is the aspect of creation wielded negatively, as it unmakes everything that it comes through. And Volos barely steps to the side as it just slices a chunk of his cloak off. And Volos looks at you and says,
What have you done? What have you done? The black hole, do you realize what you've done with this?
and he
Can I say, like, is there any opening here for even a line of back and forth?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because I think when he says that, I think Slump would, like, now having access to perhaps a little bit more of the intellect in this combined form, able to form a slightly more coherent sentence, would say,
Truly, you had a fouler intention with that machination than it was already serving. What did you intend with it? I intended to win. Well, then it's a good thing we closed it.
And he reaches forward, and these thin black ribbons kind of slowly come out of his fingertips. And before they reach you, the damage is already done.
oh,
And let's see. I will have you guys. Let's see. I will have Lou, the Unshakable Will. I mean, it's a D20 plus 4 no matter what. But I'll have the Unshakable Will, Lou, roll a D20 plus 4.
Okay. Ooh. Oh.
Oh, wow.
whoa!
Okay. The damage is not already done, as you realize that the black ribbons were the only visual aspect of this ability, and the claws that were about to rend you into as many pieces as he could find no purchase. As you see them, you sense them, and you simply basically flex.
Yeah.
Machinione just flexes, and the claws find no purchase at all.
Ping.
And so he raises the cube,
No, he doesn't.
and Galdrick,
I stop him from thinking immediately.
roll D20 plus 5.
Oh.
Oh,
That's
oh, oh!
And as Volos raises the cube, there is this 1 second where the cube, which kind of floats above his hand, wobbles. And the red eye winks out again.
Oh, oh!
I said we gotta go in or we gotta go out.
We gotta
Go out.
It's like, can Slump try to mobilize every aspect of his fucking being to de-ass this fucking area immediately?
Yes. The will is on board.
Immediately?
Actually, I want to do something.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh.
So basically, you can all act independently. So it's still kind of turn-based, but you can all act independently. So Slump, you are creating a portal back to the bar, and you are basically ready to, like, the Metanione is basically actively kind of stepping through it. But yes, Locke, the aspect of love of Metanione, what would you like to do?
I'm going to use my last luck.
Oh.
Ooh.
Do some dooming.
Wait, oh God, what are we doing? Wait, hold on, before you fucking do that, we're one being now.
How quickly can our consciousness communicate and swap ideas?
Yeah,
You guys can have a full discussion. You guys can have a full discussion. Yeah.
Okay.
I imagine it would fuck me and just me.
What are you trying to do here, bud?
I'm going to make him. I kind of want him to destroy the cube somehow, but I will be a-okay with him fumbling it, giving us enough time to leave.
So, okay, hold on. Before you do that, I was gonna try to essentially stop him from thinking, and I want someone else to yank the cube.
Oh, it's all tying together. Yeah.
Are we not worried that he could use this cube as a teleportation device and simply bloop, pop out of it like Pandora's box? Yeah.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there.
We know through deduction that it's a piece of Slump's flesh.
Or at least contains part of the power therein.
Right.
So yeah, that would be the Slump's primary concern. Would be if we try to take it, is there a chance that impulse will be so visceral that it will snap him? Whoop, there goes gravity. Up, back to reality. Up, mama spaghetti and all the other shit. And then we've lost our chance to get away. Now we're fucked because we tried to get his cube. Was that part of our initial mission, or was it just close the black hole, get the fuck out of there?
It was
close the black hole,
right.
get the fuck out.
Okay.
That's definitely what it originally was, but I don't know about you guys, but I feel like we could take them.
If I'm being honest with you,
I feel like we could take
I
them.
really don't think this is.
Yeah,
This is the whole reshape the world, reaping.
Yeah, as 4 whole beings in one being, you've been overridden by the 3s. So
Hold on. So what I would like to convey to the rest of the party is, if we retreat now, will we ever be this strong again?
the idea is to unite the inks, and we cannot do that if he has any of the keys.
Yeah, if he's holding one of them hostage.
Oh, correct. But if we, what are we going to do with these keys? Immediately put them away?
Yes.
Yes.
Can we ever reunite again?
Probably.
Probably, and even more powerful. Maybe Kirby gets to be the gold guy.
How empty do you think it is in here? We're not. It's not an empty cave.
Oh wait, no, Lou's the gold guy. Who's the other? Listen, it's kind of vacuous in Slump's corner, if you must know. Anyways, well, Slump was just thinking, of course we got to give him back. And of course, why would they ever recommend that we just close the black hole and get away if this was going to be our last chance to ever stand a chance against him, Mr. Teeny Tot?
Well, okay, yeah, but what I'm saying is, are we ever going to be this strong again?
Well, of course. Otherwise, they wouldn't tell us to waste this opportunity, would they?
Who's they?
Slump is imitating lightning bolts. And he's holding his hands up in the air like it's a floating ship. Oh, yes, we live up here. Remember?
So Galdrick isn't, what I'm going to say is not a sense of evil. It's kind of like a sense of, I have a chance for justice right here, right now. That's essentially where he's getting at, where he's just like, we can fucking do this.
Don't be lawful stupid.
Yeah.
I don't think now's the time. It'll get done, but not now.
Not now.
Yeah, not now. Not now.
There's too much at risk and in the balance. If you want to gamble with that, then I don't think you're any better than him.
Yeah. Mr. Teeny Tot, wake up. What are you talking about, you crazy pants? Come on. We gotta go back and regroup. We gotta plan. Can't just jump in there all willy-willy.
Very well. But I'm not fucking happy about this.
All right. You can blame Mr. Locke. Slump was on your side the whole time.
Look, I'm gonna rip you out of this aspected being. I swear to God.
No, come on.
I swear to Galdrick, I will do it.
No, don't.
Yeah.
He doesn't like when people swear at him. Okay, fine.
Yeah,
So we're getting out of here.
actually.
Slump is opening a portal right now, and Slump wants us all to focus on moving the legs, okay? Let's all focus on that.
And I'm gonna get ready to use a luck if it needs to happen.
Okay, so
Man, I don't know. Yeah.
just so I understand what's happening, You guys have opened a portal.
Yep.
And you're just leaving. And if something happens, Locke is ready to use a luck to ensure your escape.
Yes.
And
I would like to throw one last little punch at Volos.
Yeah.
In the sense of, oh boy, I don't know how to. Do you recall? It was one of the very first moves Galdrick ever did. Was when he created like that sphere that enclosed his enemy and it crushed him. It was kind of like an Iron Maiden.
Oh yeah.
Like as Galdrick's like turning around to like go through this portal, or the portal's like closing around us, I essentially am just like, "Fuck, you're lucky," and I want to like close him in something.
Roll a d20 -4
-4.
yeah.
at disadvantage.
Is it? This is what we're just
Interesting.
get the fuck out of there. You're gonna have a split second and then you need to leave. Does anyone else remember this? Does anyone else remember to do the fucking thing and then get the fuck out of there with something? Oh my god.
I remember.
Through the portal.
Oh, I'm sure that's gonna matter to him. Yeah, he'll respect that.
Equivalent of a ninja vanish. That's
Yeah, I'm sure he'll respect that. I'm sure it'll be fine. Can Slump fucking knock out Galdrick's subconscious component? Can Slump choke him? Can Slump use the meta Neoni to while running through the portal choke itself unconscious at the same time? Please, for fuck's sake.
I want to be very clear.
You're gonna make me use this luck, aren't you?
I'm not trying. I want to clarify. I'm not trying to do damage. I'm trying to essentially block any vision. I'm trying to be a nuisance. I'm essentially trying to put a veil over his head, like, where did we go? Ooh, like that's all I'm trying to do.
Yeah. D20 -4
No,
disadvantage.
yeah, no. Slump is gonna choke that fucking part unconscious before it even tries to do that. No fucking chance.
Oh no!
No, not
Pretty bad,
no
man.
chance.
That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad, dude.
No
That's
chance.
pretty bad.
Slump is gonna roll to choke the meta Neoni form unconscious as it goes through the fucking thing. Oh my god.
So
Neither will succeed.
So real quick, can I make that at advantage instead of disadvantage? Because I had True Bless on.
No, the True Bliss was just for the one. Yeah.
It was really, yeah, that's true.
It was a specific thing. Okay, I got you.
And as you are stepping through the portal and it is closing, you attempt to cast this spell, and you see Volos become completely lucid. And he simply says, "No."
Uh-oh.
And time freezes in that way that time freezes whenever he went to talk to you guys for a little bit. When he wanted to have a little conversation and change your minds, and everything else kind of slowed down. It felt like you were kind of pushing through molasses. So you're still kind of moving, but it's not fast enough.
The luck.
Yep.
I see now. This is my fault. I let your leash run too far, and I should have taken more care. But no more. I need those keys, and I need them now.
And he raises the cube, and it's like just your hand is showing through the portal. It's tiny. But as you're stepping into the bar and you see all the people around you who love you, and you're kind of scaring them because you're a giant, nightmarish, barely definable meta Neoni that's stepping through this portal, it feels like It feels like you ever put the vacuum up to your mouth and it grabs onto your lips so bad, and you have that second where like, oh God, is this how I die?
You know, I can't say I have.
You never put the vacuum like next to your cheek or next to your lip and it hurts really bad and you're like, oh fuck, I fucked up, I'm dead. You've never done that?
No, can't say I have, but
Oh, okay. Well, it's a scary feeling and it hurts and it doesn't feel good. Listen, there's got to be somebody else. There's got to be somebody else.
No,
who's
totally.
done that.
I do know what you mean, my dear.
Okay, good, because it hurts. That's what it feels like. There's that brief moment where your gut kind of flips and you're like, oh no, I fucked up. Oh, this hurts. Ow, I fucked up. And you feel your essence being pulled through the portal, through your hand, towards the cube. And then something miraculous happens. It's as if an imaginary pair of scissors just cut the tether between you and the cube. And your hand comes flying back towards you as you go flying through the portal. And just as the portal is closing, you do see Volos go flying backwards, completely blown back by whatever this is. And you fall out of Metanione. You become Galdric, Locke, Lou, and Slump. And Locke, you are doomed.
That's the worst possible outcome.
I wanted it to be clear. Galdric doomed me.
Fucking yep.
okay, listen, so we're clear. He had that planned anyway. I saw a script. Okay, don't.
No. We had a chance. No.
You know what? Shut the fuck up. Your life is mine anyway. Remember, I've already saved your ass like 9 times.
Yeah,
All right,
and now
you're
it's
just
my
paying
turn
it
to
back.
save yours,
Shut up.
apparently.
Mom, Dad, stop fighting! You're ruining Slum's birthday party! You promised you wouldn't do this again!
I know. I'm fucking around.
Hey, we're back. Did we do the thing?
And
I think
you
we
guys
won.
are back in the bar, and you are whole. You are conscious. You are there. You are alive. The black hole is closed. Volos no longer has a weapon to destroy your entire mission and kill everybody.
It's a big plus.
And
That last one there,
you
that's a
have-
big
That is-
plus.
Yeah, and you have 4 of the 5 planar keys. And you realize you probably have, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 seconds before Volos shows up here and kills you all.
Yeah, who's done
the
this?
room.
Take it off.
Oh yeah, thank you. I exactly. I think as soon as they get to the point, I'm like, oh hey, we survived. Some immediately starts thinking, oh, take it off.
Have you seen the StarCraft cinematic where the one zealot is still standing against the entire Zerg, and he like turns on like the
Yeah, oh,
the blades.
yeah.
I immediately turn to like where the portal's gonna come, and I'm like just ready for battle, and then I immediately feel Slump grab me by the neck and just drag me.
No, Mr. TD Todd, no!
Ridiculous!
Okay. Would you guys like to deposit your planar keys in the chamber?
Immediately,
Absolutely.
instantaneously,
No.
Slump would rip it out of Galdric too.
No.
Yep. He would.
We are carrying him into that room.
He would squeeze him like a toothpaste tube.
Yeah, exactly. Just hold him upside down over it.
I think even Locke goes like, I'm fucking doomed to die. You are going into the room. By the scruff of your neck, I swear to God.
I'm picturing Slump shaking me like the bully trying to get my lunch money.
I literally pictured the exact same thing, holding you by your ankles, kind of shaking you upside down. Drop it.
No, it's mine.
when we're inside the room before we deposit our keys, can I undoom him with my power? Can I give him 1 luck?
I will tell you that the consequences to that will be
Don't do it.
Immediate.
immediate
this-
and incredibly severe.
This is a character decision I made. Let it happen.
Like you would sacrifice things that you don't want to sacrifice in order for that to happen.
And that lock probably doesn't want to sacrifice.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, you piece of shit. I want to flick my hand, and I want to pull back the book. And I'll just stare at it for a second. Then I'll put it away. Fine. I manifest a building that can hold the key, and I throw my key into it.
Yeah. And you guys have now secured 4 of the 5 planar keys. It has come at a bit of a cost, but they are now secure. Being on the pedestals in the chamber, they are now secured. And you guys leave the chamber, and you are greeted by Volos.
Shut up. Shut your mouth.
no, hey, whoa, hey, what?
And everyone else in the bar is basically stationary. They're kind of stopped.
You have been the biggest pains in my ass
Yeah.
that I ever could have imagined. But you cannot win without my key. And I swear to you this, you will not get it. You will try, and you will do many things. But if there's one thing I'm sure of, it's that if you will prevent my victory, I will prevent yours for all eternity. I will wait for as long as I need to wait for. And eventually, you will slip. And I will win.
And he steps through a portal back into the red ink, and everything returns to normal.
Oh, I hate how he always gets the last word.
Motherfucker.
He's got bad guy powers. He always gets the last word. And you feel that had you spent any more time in the chamber restoring luck, it would have been a very different scene out here.
Oh, God.
Oh, it'd have been okay. Let them all die.
No!
Let them all die. It's worth it.
And then things return to normal. And Lutu and Arinda and Betty and Tom and Kirby kind of all rush over and try to group hug you guys.
Come get off of me!
Oh my God, I thought you were
Get off!
all
I'm not
dead.
happy.
The scary monster came in here and then it was you guys.
We made it. It was so crazy out there.
Oh my god!
We were all one person.
I don't even understand what I saw.
Neither do we!
And Lutu kind of gets your guys' attention, says, all right, so I guess things kind of worked out the way they were supposed to.
Well,
I mean, I
Yeah,
saw.
they could have gone better. They could have gone much better. We could have defeated Volos right there, but whatever. Who cares?
You know,
You could have defeated Volos.
Yeah, we
no.
could have probably defeated Volos.
No, we could not
No.
have. Don't listen to him. Do not listen to him. There's no, we would have been killed immediately and turned into paste.
No, I think we. Pretty sure we had it in the bag, but no, it's fine. No,
We
these
got-
assholes.
No more black hole though.
Yeah,
Everyone,
no more black hole.
everyone in the white ink is safe. Yay!
Well,
Oh, that's great.
Safe forever. No need to ever check on them again.
All right. Well,
Yep.
that's good. I mean, I take your word for it. I don't know why you'd lie about
Leave them to
something
their
like
own.
that.
Yeah, leave them to their own devices. They're fine now.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Yep.
How was Lucia? Was she doing all right? I haven't had a chance to see her in a
Fine
while.
as hell.
amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah, she was-
fine as hell.
All right. I mean, you're kind of talking about a part of me there, so that's
Ooh.
just be.
What
be a
can I
little
say? You got
respectful
nice
there.
legs.
All right. All right.
He has good taste.
All right. So you got all 4 keys in there now?
Oh, 4 fucking keys in there right now.
Yep, 4 of them.
All right, that's great. So, all right. So I guess we're on to the next step
Yeah,
then.
what's the next step?
He's gonna say defeat Volos.
I'm like side-eyeing Locke
He's
this
gonna-
whole time to see what's.
He's gonna say defeat Volos. That's what he's gonna say. That's what he's gonna say right now.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like defeating Volos, but
Mhm.
we got to beat him by taking away his kind of weapons first. So, next step, we've got to destroy Volos's cube.
Oh, I
That
thought you were
thing's-
gonna say his underlings already took care of that.
Yeah.
The underlings. Oh, Mitra and Vetha.
Yeah, they're
Hey.
yeah, they're
That's great. So I guess 2/3 of the problem solved.
yeah.
That's great.
I think we could have taken the cube from him. I think we could have just
No, definitely could. We would have been dead instantly,
I think-
flattened.
I
Just
think
ignore
we
him.
Could have. Why were you so afraid? Let me ask you. Why? I've got to bring this up.
we
I've got to bring
we
this up.
paused for a
He
second.
attacked
Did you
us
see?
once,
Did you
and
see
we
that we felt the
deflected
power
it.
getting sucked out of us like a toothpaste tube? Do you remember that? Through our fingertips? Through
Yeah,
our
well, we just
fingertips?
fight against it. All we gotta do is get the cube. We could have gotten it.
Mr. Teeny Tot suffers from many things, one of which is an overabundance of ego.
No, it's not ego.
It is,
It's confidence.
it is
It's
ego.
confidence.
It is ego, and the fact that he never thinks that Slump has good ideas.
Listen, you did a very good job. You yelled at him and then he blinked. You did a good job.
Slump has lots of good ideas, like Slump thinks that a really tasty sandwich would be tuna and peanut butter, and nobody listens.
No,
Slump has lots of good ideas.
Listen, you have plenty of good. You used the word machinations and you used it correctly. I'm fucking impressed.
Bacon eggs. They're chickens that are made out of bacon, and they lay eggs full of bacon. It's another great idea, but no one ever listens to Slump.
Everything you can't use ideas with bacon. Bacon ideas are easy.
Slump's ideas are not just limited to bacon ideas. He has many non-related, but like chocolate, eggs. Damn it, Easter eggs. Fuck. Already taken.
Already exists.
Well, Slump's working on it. Fine. Maybe we could have taken the cube, but Slump doesn't think so.
I think we could have tested the water. Is all I'm saying. So here's why I'm here. I'm gonna like wiggle my finger in the air. This is the only reason I'm upset. Okay? Because I don't. What's the difference between fighting him now that we're all powerless versus fighting him when we're literally on our most powerful form?
Oh, you're not going to be fighting him. No, that's not you. That's not your
What?
job.
I'm sorry.
mean?
I'm sorry. I do the white guy blinking emoji. I'm sorry. What?
Well, what we need to do is have someone destroy his cube because, powerful or not, as long as he's got the cube, there's kind of no standing up to him. So destroying the cube's plan number 1.
Uh-huh.
And can't be you. That can't be you that does that.
Why?
Why not?
Because, well,
We're attuned.
gotta go to the red
Oh.
ink to do that. And that's kind of where, I mean, I guess Volos 101, he's from the red ink, so that's kind of his thing.
Yeah, don't like that.
And if you go where his thing is, he's gonna know, and then he'll kill y'all. So,
So we have to send someone else into the red ink.
yeah,
So
that's right. So, we're gonna have you all find some people who could be good replacements. and they're going to be the ones to go and destroy the cube.
Oh.
After the cube's destroyed, we give you all the keys back, and then you go fight him, and he won't have the cube.
Well, he's probably got some sort of backup, I imagine.
For the record, I fucking hate this.
Some sort of secondary cube, like a sphere or a
No.
triangle?
Well, if Volos's history is any indicator, especially in the green ink, there's gonna be a contingency for his contingency.
That's true.
No, that's definitely one of the problems. So,
One of the
we
problems,
need-
what are the other ones?
well, the fact that, I don't know who's going to go in there. We're going to need to find new people. We're going to need to reveal to them the secrets of the universe, I guess.
What about?
Oh, no, just
Kirby.
a small feat.
Kirby.
Well, yeah.
It's going to have to be people that you've kind of never met or never really interacted with before. They can't be
God.
associated with you in any way, so that Volos will have no idea that they're anything other than just random people.
That's actually
tall
makes
order.
sense. Yeah,
Does
that's very
make,
tall order.
does make sense, but how are we supposed to make it that kind? How are we supposed to know a person good to
So-
make them good and do the thing?
Yeah,
And
okay.
know
So
they're
what
not
I'm
gonna
saying
go
is
there.
it has to be somebody
yeah.
that we don't know, and it also has to be somebody that we implicitly trust.
Yes.
What?
And, well, no, more than that. Has to be someone you don't know, someone you implicitly trust, someone who's capable of doing this task, and someone that you don't mind dying because they're probably not making it back.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Them
Man.
returning can't be part of the mission.
Oh boy.
So what we should just call them Rogue One.
Yeah, right.
Basically.
Why are you laughing? You know you don't get it.
Slump likes when you say words.
Okay.
It's like a small cat making sounds. Beep, beep, beep,
Wow.
beep, 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 beep. Look, meow, 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 meow.
So,
Slump is working his mouth open and closed.
Meow, 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 meow. Anyways, okay. So where should we look for these people? What about Asgard?
well, so you can look anywhere you want. Each of you gets to choose. You each pick one person who will take your spot
From any
in-
ink?
from any ink, anywhere you want. And they need to be able to accomplish the mission. And you need to be willing to let them die. Because they're probably not making it back. They won't be getting the power of a planar key. They won't be able to make a portal. We won't know where they are. They don't really have a means of return. They just need to destroy the cube, discover and destroy contingency plans, and then die. And this is not going to be a simple process. So we can start at the beginning. And
What is the
Then-
first step?
I want to raise my hand. I have a question.
yes.
Can we do I have to put my hand down?
Yeah, you don't even have to put it up at any point.
Oh.
You can just ask.
Okay.
Slump puts his hand up.
No, I was talking.
Question. That's what Slump has a question about. What if Slump has a question while someone else has a question,
I
but he's
raised my
not
hand.
put up?
What do I do
Oh,
if he keeps
okay.
interrupting me?
No. See, no.
Slump
right.
puts his hand higher.
Okay.
But then should he put up his hand rather
Alright.
than interrupt
No,
someone?
I
'Cause
just start
if he-
crawling
if
up
he
Slump's
interrupt-
back so I can put my hand even higher.
Okay, no,
If he
raising
puts his-
the hand's a great idea. Okay, now from now on we're raising hands, and I'll just call on the person.
Yes.
Okay, I raised my hand again.
Slump is fist pumping like he just won something and he has no fucking idea. He just looks very happy.
All right, Mr. Goldrick. Yes.
Why can't I mean, if we can, why don't we just do what Vetha did and just take over somebody in that universe? But it's a projection of us. Is that possible?
I mean,
Does that
So
open
here's
us? Yeah.
the problem with that is to do something like that, we'd either need to use a bunch of coins, and that's dangerous,
Okay.
or we'd need to use one of the keys, and that's even more dangerous.
Okay. I volunteer. I can use it. I'll go get it right now. I'll go get it right now.
No, you know what, Mr. Goldrick, I'm kind of worried about how much you like using the key.
Maybe need an
I'm a little bit
intervention.
worried about how eager you are to constantly use it.
I am the key.
I know.
Don't worry about him. He sounds concerning. He just wants to reshape the universe in his image. It's not. It's a phase. They'll get through
Yeah,
it.
it's not a phase. Okay,
phase.
I just want to make. I just want to make.
Yeah,
I
of
just want to
course,
make a
yeah.
good.
It's
I just
gonna
wanna
be
make a
great.
good universe.
Yeah,
That's
it's
it.
gonna be the
That's it.
best. Yeah, just ignore him. It's
Mr.
gonna be the
Mr.
best.
Goldrick.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mr. Goldrick, if
Yeah,
you
what?
love something,
You gotta let it go. Listen, I already did that, and it came back to me already. You don't have to let it
All
go twice. That's fucking stupid.
no, if you love it, let it go. If it comes back, then it's yours, unless you have to let it go again, in which case you have to wait for it to come back again. Then it's really for sure yours.
Slum's
most
never
likely.
heard that one. That
No,
one
that's the way to say.
sounds.
No,
Is that
they
it?
shortened it. No, they
Oh.
shortened it a couple thousand years ago because they got
Oh.
sick of it. But that's the original form.
Well, Slum,
Yeah, you know
Slum
who was here
believes
a
him.
couple thousand years ago? Me,
Well, then you
motherfuckers,
should
because
know.
I'm actually a key.
I know. Well, then you should know.
Don't. Whatever. I know I shouldn't have fucking said that.
Okay, so what's the first step then? So, well, yeah, what do we do? Help us, Mr. Ludog. You're our only hope.
We will have to use a couple coins, and for that, I'm a little bit worried. But at this point, honestly, somehow an Oberith seems a little bit less dangerous than Volos taking the keys.
I disagree.
I could
I'll
always be
take the
friends with
keys.
it. I'm pretty good at making unlikely friends.
Name one unlikely friend you've made.
Iron Maidens.
Have you talked to them?
Yeah,
Keep in
friend
touch.
is a strong term, Mr. Teeny.
The other, the bubblefish. Fuck.
Tickles.
Well, bless you.
You
The
know,
bubblefish, whatever his tickles.
don't call him the bubblefish.
Bubblefish.
He'll throw up from this ink if he hears you calling him the bubblefish. Don't call
I
him
will,
that.
that's true.
Listen, that's accurate.
He did do a lot of.
I miss him.
Me too.
Well, anyway.
All right. Well, if the Oberith shows up, maybe we'll let you have first crack at making friends with it.
Okay, that's what
I
I'll
mean,
do.
you've already met once, right? You met Pale Knight.
Yeah,
So, I mean, honestly, you guys are already.
It's
kinda have a rapport.
pretty short conversation.
I have a report.
Pale didn't really ask us too much, you know.
Short conversation was basically,
Yeah, only one real
Not
word
quite,
exchange.
you know what I mean? So
Yep.
listen, hold on. Here was my idea with the Oberith. Okay, you guys think I haven't thought about this? I have. Okay, this is what I'm thinking we do. Should the Oberith re-arise, I want to try to engage in a dialogue. Just very simple. And what I want to do is, as a planar key, I would use the power of a planar key. We all would, okay? And essentially, what we would do is create. If the Oberith helps us get the last key, we can create a side dimension, all for the Oberith, and only thing that exists there is nothing.
So you're trusting an extraplanar being who hates creation to get a thing that makes creation, to make a thing where they can live forever in non-creation.
Correct.
Some thinks that they might just cut out the middleman and just murder us. You know?
Why not just destroy the key and prevent any of that from happening?
For the same reason it doesn't do so at this very moment, because you can't destroy something that's already been created. If it could have destroyed all of existence, guess what? It's been around longer than any of us. I'm willing to bet it would have done it by now.
What was
Probably
it
would've
doing in the
snuffed it out.
green? Oh.
No. You go on. I was just saying, like, they definitely would probably have snuffed it out at the very beginning of
Yeah.
creation.
Yeah.
Right, that's true.
If they could have snuffed this out, I think they would have already done it.
But then what were they working on in the green ink? They were actively doing something there. Were they destroying?
The planar key?
The Oberith.
Pale Knight.
Mhm.
I forget, what did that bitch even have to do with it? She was all like, "Dad." I thought she was just a symptom of what happened. I thought she was a consequence of what happened. She wasn't there. She wasn't there to actually like.
They're
The
like
Oberith wasn't there on a mission. The Oberith was there because of something we did, which was messing with too much ink because of the fucking stones.
okay, so okay. I will illuminate that a little bit.
Okay.
So the Oberith plot and plan the destruction of all existence constantly, but they're not hasty, and their plans are so convoluted that it's hard to tell what they're doing at any one given time. And sometimes it even seems like they're helping, but that's just because it lines up with the plan that they're already doing. And a lot of the time they're just waiting. They're just waiting for the next piece to fall so that they can enact the next step of their plan. When you guys showed up to the green ink, you kicked off a series of events from the Prime Ink coin used to bring you there, and from Volos showing up, who is a full planar key, because the world only had fragments of planar keys around, right? So there was no big power for the Oberith to grab and wield. And when Volos showed up following you guys, the Oberith saw a power strong to enact the next phase of its plan for destroying everything, which is why it began acting the way it did. It was because finally there was a power close enough and powerful enough for it to begin working with the next phase of its plan, which was to destroy everything, which is what it was doing. It was gathering up all the souls, faith, power, planar keys, and everything to destroy.
So, what is more powerful, a planar key or an Oberith?
Oberith, right? I remember
Oberith.
we learned that nothing in this universe was more powerful than an Oberith.
Yeah, a single planar key is no match for an Oberith.
But something in 5 universes, if we had all of them, then maybe.
Yeah,
We
you
know,
have not
yeah.
seen Prime Ink match up against it. However, small amounts of Prime Ink are a deterrent at best, because Locke and Lu 2 have constantly been moving the bar, because a fight with Prime Ink coins would not end well. That would not go their way. So very, very little so far that's been tested or anything stands any chance against an Oberith. And mostly they're just kind of waiting. Like they have infinite time to wait. They're not hasty, they're not rushing, and so they only act when their plan can be enacted. They don't push their plan, they don't force it. They wait until the universe just happens to be law of statistics. Eventually something's going to happen that is something that they want, and that's when they move.
Culture gets a grin from ear to ear. Okay. Okay. So what's next?
Well, what's next is, I mean, we start finding people for you to replace you to go into the red ink.
Okay,
I have
didn't
an
like
idea.
the word replace there.
Well, I mean, theoretically, you'd be going.
We've only sacrificed literally everything, and then we're just gonna get replaced.
Well, no, I mean, this is just, I mean, unless you want to go there and die. They're the replacements for you dying.
I look at Locke. Well,
What?
no.
Yeah, honey, we gotta talk a little later once we're done here.
Not sure I really like the tone of that.
You won't.
Locke did something stupid.
Well,
Locke did something that saved the keys.
All
Hey,
right.
wait a minute. I'd like look around the room, and now that Volos is gone, I look at the GM. Can I restore his luck now?
You're not planar keys at the moment.
I can go grab it. It's right there.
Theoretically, you could
Seems
go
a little
into the
power
chamber.
gamey. I won't. Fine, whatever. Stupid jerk.
He didn't mean that, God. He didn't mean it.
I'm respecting it.
He's
I don't
just
gotta
tired.
like it, but
He
I'm
hasn't had his
respecting it.
snack. It's nap time. He just.
Stop rubbing my head.
Oh, it's okay. Shh.
I will remind you that Volos did say he had let the leash run way too long.
Speaking of which, what happened to that curse? That was lifted, right?
No.
Yes, you guys had.
Oh, that's right.
Lucia lifted, I believe.
That's right.
Yeah,
right.
that was one of the reasons we went to go see her. So
Right,
Oh,
right.
dang. Oh,
Yeah,
dang.
she said it was for someone who is trained in arcane ways, it's an impossible spell. But for someone who is attempting to manipulate fate,
Oh, yeah,
it was
that's
honestly
right.
very basic. And that she suspected it was his first attempts at learning how to manipulate fate in preparation for when he was the god of everything.
Shoot, I forgot that. That's right.
To give everyone purpose, he wants to be able to manipulate their fate.
okay, so I've got a question for you, Tech.
Yeah.
On average, how long have we spent in each plane?
Let's see. I think you've spent on average, I guess probably a year and a half, 2 years.
Okay. For this, Galdrick knows nothing about this, but the fact that he's been a planar key longer than anyone else, when we send whatever the next party is in, can Galdrick spend the next year, 2 years learning how to weave fate?
Ooh.
That's interesting.
We can discuss that.
Okay.
You would need to talk to Lucia.
Oh,
for that?
absolutely. I'd be like, Gold Ink, here I come. I love
Yeah.
steampunk.
Victorian steampunk, even.
While your guys chosen expendables go into the red ink, you guys will be able to do other things with your time while they're out there. And we can go into a lot of detail about what that is: practice, training, learning, vacationing, whatever it is you want. That will be an aspect of it. So I guess now that you guys have kind of had that revealed, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what the plan actually is.
Yeah, please do. I'm so curious.
You guys will be building 4 new characters, and they will be the ones doing the
that's
next arc.
fucking cool. That's a cool little spin.
Yeah. Because it is a suicide arc, it can't be your main characters because they will die.
Oh, sad.
So you will be building basically expendables who will go into the red ink to try to accomplish this mission.
So I was planning on asking this in character, but it works here too.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about the red ink?
Yeah. So you guys don't know a ton about it, but I can give you some of the broad strokes. The red ink is basically Nightmare Hellland, and it exists as the cities in it are like horrifically polluted super metropolises. Giant skyscrapers, overwhelming pollution, trash in the streets, acrid air. Everyone is super cramped in. Everybody's just unhappy. Between, they run the spectrum of unhappy to miserable to murderous. And they go and they work pointless jobs that literally have no purpose other than to keep the people busy. The people who run things are actual monsters. People in the red ink world, some people transform. It's not known why or what causes it or where it started, but some people transform into monsters. And when they do, they go completely feral, completely beast-like. They lose all sense of self, and they usually murder a whole ton of people and then run out of city limits. They're usually driven out of city limits if they're not killed, and they're very rarely killed because they're really strong. And it seems like people don't try all that hard to kill it, honestly. Like the police don't really show up all that well. The authorities don't really try that hard to kill it. They just kind of drive it out of town, and they live outside of city limits. And the outside of city limits are bogs, mountains, forests, just your general horror, awful, spooky places. And there's hundreds and thousands of miles of it between each city. And each city is just like a little circle of metropolis. And all around it for hundreds of miles is Nightmarescape. And there is basically only ever a single road that connects one city to another city. I think what has been gleaned and the information that you've obtained is that some monsters, some people, when they turn into monsters, retain their kind of humanness and develop the ability to transform at will into their monstrous form. They are called the Ascended. And there is one person who turns people into Ascended, and that's Volos. When people are going to transform, when they're going to change, Volos is the person who selects few people, says, show up at my place, I'll help you transform properly, and I'll give you my gift, which will allow you to transform at will. And these Ascended are the people who run everything. That's why they don't try that hard to kill monsters. That's why they try to keep people crushed. That's why they try to profit off the nightmare living hell that all other people in the Red Ink suffer under. And the hierarchy kind of goes like average person who hates everything, average boss who's driven to madness, Ascended up above, we're kind of living at large and living off the profits and suffering of all others, and then Volos up at the very top. And that's basically the basic landscape of the Red Ink.
Sounds fun there.
Yeah, so question for you. So just for my own mental image, so when you say that it's like it's these little towns connected by a tenuous road, and outside of that is like a nightmarish hellscape. When you say a nightmarish hellscape, do you mean like boiling pools of fire, or do you mean like dark twisted trees and horrifying sounds and crazy multi-eyed beasts lurking in the shadows, or is it like stone and pointy spires like Mordor, or what is it?
Kind of all of it. Like it's like, you know, like if you were to leave city limits, you'd see a giant bog, just a giant, disgusting, danky, musky, poison bog of rotting trees, moss, and things that lurk in the mud. Beyond that, you'd see a forest that is so dark you can't see your hand in front of your face in it. Twisted trees, cobwebs, low mist, and growling, screeching monsters in the darkness. Beyond that, you'd see the shattered rocks of Mordor like twisted stone spire. Beyond that, you'd see a scorching desert. It's just all the biomes exist out
Everything
there.
that's unpleasant. Yeah,
everything that's unpleasant exists out there, kind of thing.
Got it.
And all the monsters that transform that are not Ascended, all the monsters that just go feral, they all live and lurk in the wilds.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So that's kind of the Red Ink. And what you need to do is assemble a team of people who will enter the Red Ink, find out what it takes to become Ascended, then become Ascended, meet Volos, have him control their mutations, find their way into his confidence, and then destroy his plans from within.
That's gonna be tough.
Yep. So, many weeks ago, I sent you guys a giant list of all the different classes.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. So you don't need to have anything picked right now. That's not important. If you have had a chance to look at it and know some general ideas of classes you'd like, that's great. But that's not critical for today. Today, we are going to be determining the type of person that you find. This is going to be you building the personality of the character that you will be playing in the Red Ink. I've got a list of questions that I ask you, and as you answer them, you start to build the character. I'll give you a little bit of inspiration. Nothing set in stone. This is all the stuff that you're just kind of looking for. And then take the notes from today, from our little questionnaire, look at the class sheet that I sent you, and then next week, you will come with both your main character and your Suicide Squad character.
I'm so upset that building already exists because I want him to bring a building.
Big boy, you ready to go? Okay.
So, in general, you want this to be a character that you haven't met or interacted with in any way. This is basically you creating a brand new character. However, if you feel very strongly about a character that you've met in the past, you can play that character. However, you will be expected to do the voice and take a character sheet that I have for that person. I'll give you their personality traits, their wants and desires, their history, and all that stuff. And you will be expected to maintain that character. So you can choose someone who you've already met.
Dibs on Ula.
She'll blend right in.
No problem.
I'm looking at Slump. No, you don't get to take Atom. Stop.
So yeah, either this will be a brand new character or perhaps someone you've met previously. But you know, you're taking a lot on your shoulders if you take someone who's already been made.
I've already got a great idea of who I'm gonna pick.
Me too.
Okay.
It's gonna be Kiki. I'm so fucking upset.
She would belong so well.
Okay. So basically, we do a bit of a questionnaire. The way this is, was that?
I said, let's do it.
Okay, awesome. So basically, the way this works is the concept is you are using Prime Ink coins to kind of look through the different worlds, to peer into the different inks, to follow different people, to look for different aspects. We're gonna make this pretty minimal cost for Prime Ink coins, so don't worry about like, oh, I want to check this, I want to check that, I want to look this. Like, we're just gonna narratively make sure that you're not like overusing Prime Ink coins so that the Oberth come and destroy everything. Don't worry about asking too many questions or looking at too many different things. Yes, it's requiring Prime Ink. Yes, that's gonna draw some attention. I'm going to make sure that it's not too much so that, you know, we don't create a new problem with this solution. So first, Slump, why don't we start with you?
Sure.
So the first question is pretty obvious. And that question is, which ink do they come from? I'm going to run through the inks a little bit.
Sure.
I'm going to give you a little bit of a spiel on why each ink might matter to you. If you
Sure.
have got something totally chosen, awesome. That's great. But maybe something I say changes your mind.
Sure.
So, Slump, which ink do they come from? White. This is your home universe. You know much about the white ink. They're largely technologically advanced compared to a lot of the other places. It's got a history you're very well aware of. It's got many people that you've come to know pretty well. Or green. This was your first venture into the other inks. You weren't born in this ink, but you had some pretty huge moments there. This is where you met Gerby, the candy kobold. This is where you met Saloon and became her champion and wielded her scepter. And this is also where you went to Hell. Its history is somewhat known to you, but its future is largely unknown at this moment. It's full of dragons, knights, clerics, and everything high fantasy. Or the blue ink. This is your most recent big adventure. You know a lot about this world through your connection to Galdrick, and it feels very natural to you, but it's still foreign. It's full of pirates, swashbucklers, mages, undead. Or the gold ink. This is the most mysterious of the inks for you. You spent virtually no time there. You know almost nothing about the world, and it was radically different than all the other worlds you've experienced. It seems to be a mix of high and low tech, with magic playing a big aspect in the world. So, which ink are you thinking of looking in for this person?
I'm gonna be honest. I'm thinking white ink.
All right.
Got an idea of the type of person that I have in mind.
Okay. Now, we're going to start building the personality of this person that you're thinking of. We need to know the measure of the person. Next question. What is the measure of their courage? This is not a question for their desire for action, nor a question of their willingness to face danger. This is a question of their reaction to impending death. Do they accept death with their head held high, meeting the end with a calm demeanor? Do they fight death every step of the way, refusing and rejecting death, clawing to life until it rips them from their body? Do they flee from death? Do they desperately look for a way out until the very end? Are they full of fear? And does that overtake them? Would they sacrifice someone else to avoid death? These are the types of things that I want you to think about when you tell me the measure of their courage. Describe to me, when you think of this person who will take your place, what is the measure of their courage?
I would say that they are a mix of the last two options. Definitely not the type to stalwartly face it like a samurai. They're more like they are more always a fan of the tactical retreat, but when backed into a corner and having a pretty good understanding of when backed into a corner, will leave nothing behind, will fight until dead.
Okay, perfect. Next question. The measure of their mind. And now this is not entirely a question of their intelligence, although it does play a factor. This is more of a question of how they utilize their mind. Is their mind a weapon? Do they wield their knowledge, whether it's arcane or martial or knowledge of food or whatever, as a means to succeed and overcome? Is their mind a passive boon? Do they accumulate knowledge like a sponge, and is it retained or does it leak? Is their mind a lesser part of their being, acting more on instinct, perhaps reacting rather than proacting? And is their mind a danger to themselves? Is their mind so overpowering with itself that it questions themselves to a fault? Does it weaken them? What is the measure of their mind?
I would say that's definitely the first category. This is a person whose the vast majority of their arsenal is mind, and specifically knowledge of like how to manipulate people, the art of deception, things like that.
Perfect. Next question. A measure of their faith. And this is not a question about their religious faith. This is more of a question about their conviction or belief in something. Once convinced of something, do they hold on to that to death? Do they close their mind to all other input once they are absolutely certain of something? Or do they adapt their beliefs actively? Do they constantly change and update their convictions as their life changes? Or do they lack a strong conviction? Are they swayed by convincing arguments? Do they abandon beliefs entirely when they're contested strongly enough? Can they be convinced that their entire system of thinking is wrong? What is the measure of their faith?
I would say that I think they fit into the category of not being particularly strongly convicted of much. No real main convictions other than self-preservation.
Yep, fair. Final question. The measure of their heart. Is this person kind or cruel? And this is more nuanced than it seems. It is more about intent than action. Like if you were to see a person on the street with no money and no home, it matters less about whether you give them money or food and more about why you choose to or not to. When the person sees suffering, regardless of how they do that, regardless of how they do it, do they have a desire to reduce suffering? They see an ally suffering. Do they feel moved to assist? Or is assisting more of an obligation and an expectation? Is suffering of an enemy considered less egregious than suffering of a friend? And is some suffering acceptable to reduce the suffering elsewhere? Is the pain inflicted by an enemy to be meted out in their punishment? Is there a desire to retribute and inflict suffering as a means to balance the scales? Tell me about the measure of their heart?
I would say that, and I really like that you worded it this particular way, because the answer might not be one that someone would otherwise ordinarily expect. And that is, I would say that they're absolutely cruel. This person, walking down the street and seeing a person that was begging for change or something like that, or their house had just been burned down in a raid, he would scoff, maybe laugh and spit and keep going.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
He in terms of his heart, I think the most important thing is, I think he's someone who would base a lot of their convictions on personal experience and have like the most stalwart belief of do what is necessary to guarantee survival, like self-preservation.
Wow.
And that means that, like, all for one and one for none.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah. Okay. So it sounds like you got a pretty good idea of this person, huh?
I think so.
Okay. Let me know some description of this person.
Sure. So this is why I think this fits together, and all your questions really cemented it. I'm thinking something to the effect of a character that I made quite a while ago and haven't played for quite a while, and that is Rip Immersion.
Oh, yeah.
And Rippy I think fits well because Rippy is kind of like if you've ever played the Fable games, for anyone listening, it's kind of like a guy from like Bowerstone. Like, I imagine the dude who wears a beat up looking top hat and will swindle you with a game of cards or something like that. And, is in debt to half the city and, beating the money out of the other half, and is like quick-witted and quick to slip in a word, quick to pick a lock, try to garner favor with a less savory crowd just to advance his own schemes. And the reason that I think he would be a good fit is because I think in this sort of urban corporate hell that the Red Ink sounds like, I think the type of person who could really succeed is someone who understands specifically how to play the game. I very much believe that, like, even the most heinous, monstrous, and seemingly impenetrable plans can be just that, can be penetrated, can be fucked with by someone with a quick enough wit, and someone who, like, rather than deciding where to strike, realizes how to get the job done without ever needing to. And someone who will not think twice about fucking over someone else in the Red Ink, just like everyone that inhabits the Red Ink likely already operates. No one gives a fuck. You have to be willing to look out for number one, and that's it. And I think that he's a good pick because I think he's the type who would be convinced of the severity of the situation by being explained the secrets of the universe and, like, this is what you need to do. And that Slump would feel confident picking someone like that because this type of person would understand that they need to help or the universe is fucked, and that would trigger that self-preservation instinct.
Awesome. I love it. I think that's absolutely fantastic. I absolutely love this. And so you already know the character. That's fantastic. And then over the next week, go through the list and just pick a class that you like, and
absolutely
let me know which one it is, and I'll make sure the abilities work, and if there's any changes, I'll let you know. But yeah, so characters, awesome. All you need to do is pick the class.
Fuck yeah.
Perfect. Does anyone else feel strongly about their answer and want to go next?
I do.
Okay. So then, Locke, I will give you the same questions. The very first one, of course, I've got the little blurb about each of the inks. First question, which ink do they come from? Locke, white, this is your home of homes. You've been alive for so long and seen so much, it's been exclusively here in the white ink. You've seen ages come and go. You've witnessed the change of humans from a single sun species to an intergalactic one. And your heart resides here in this ink as well. The green was your first time in another ink. You'd seen other people do it, but this was the first time losing all your power and magic and being humbled by the might of another universe. You were there to rescue the party when they came out of hell, and you came face to face with the Oberith, the forces that you have been aware of and avoiding for so long since you and Lutu started using prime ink coins. The blue ink It was your first long mission out of the White Ink. It was brutal, terrifying, and illuminating. You lost part of your arm, and you died at one part. You deciphered Volos's curse, and you learned to wield fire in new and interesting ways. You met more mages than I think you have ever known before, and you got to go to school, mage school, for a little while. And then there's the gold ink, which is still the most mysterious of the inks. You knew that it was a special place, and you knew that Lutu had to protect it, and you did your best to help him. Part of your heart lived there, but not the part you grew to know and love. It's a special place, but very unknown to you. So, which ink does the person come from?
Gold.
Okay. The next question is the measure of their courage. Would you like me to repeat the options, or do you kind of know?
Repeat the options, summarized.
Yeah. So basically, the measure of their courage is their reaction to impending death, whether they can meet it calm, with a head held high, whether they fight death to the very, very end, whether they flee from it and cower from it, and whether they sacrifice others.
I would say he would definitely sacrifice others, and fight if it was the only option he had. He would throw someone under the bus rather than do it himself.
Okay. Yeah. All right. The next one is the measure of their mind. And this one is a question of how they utilize their mind. Is their mind a weapon? Do they weaponize their knowledge, whether it's arcane or martial? Is their mind a passive boon? Do they accumulate knowledge like a sponge? Or is their mind a lesser part of their being, perhaps are acting more on instinct or reacting rather than proacting? And is their mind a danger to themselves? Do they doubt themselves, and does that weaken them?
I would say that their mind is somewhat of a weapon. It's what they've had. It's all they've had to survive. I'm kind of imagining this guy from one of the lesser fortunate cities that exist in that realm. Like always starving, always having to raid another city when they get close to one. Like always tooth and nail. But if I can throw another body at that person, well, I get his share and the one and mine. So that type
absolutely.
So I would say he's that kind of person.
Yep. Next is the question of their faith. And this is a question about their conviction or belief in something. And this is basically, once convinced, do they hold on to that until death? Or can they change their mind based on active information? Or do they lack a strong conviction such that a convincing argument can sway them?
I'd say their mind can be changed. He's had to be adaptive in the past, and sometimes changing his position was more beneficial in the end.
Okay, personal. Perfect. Okay. And the last question, the measure of their heart. Are they kind or are they cruel? And this is intent, not action. This is, do they seek to reduce suffering? And is assisting allies expected, or is it actually, do they feel moved? And do they consider the suffering of their enemies to be the same as the suffering of their allies? And do they feel that making an enemy suffering is balance for the injustices that enemy caused? So tell me about the measure of their heart when it comes to the suffering of others.
I think the suffering of an ally versus the suffering of a friend are the same. That I'm trying to remember some of the questions here, but
I mean, basically, this is, it doesn't have to be any one of the options. It's just like, tell me how they react to seeing suffering. Are they kind or are they cruel? Do they seek to reduce suffering, or do they not care? Like, do the suffering not impact them?
I would say that at one point it did. And he has become, I think jaded's the wrong word, but like because he's had to do what he's had to do to make it, that it just kind of, that concern has slowly numbed.
Yeah, I
Like-
was gonna say kind of numbed, right?
Yeah, I would say it's still there, like it's still there, but it is just a very quiet whisper in a far off land in his head.
Yeah, gotcha. Numbed but not gone, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So, do you have an idea of this character that you're kind of talking about?
Yeah, I kind of
And you don't have to describe it now. You got a full week to sit down and come up with some names and some story and stuff like that. But it sounds like you got a pretty good idea of this character.
it's a variation of the Ascendant. Like I imagine that this is the gold shards version of that character.
Ah, okay, gotcha.
Like everyone has a double. That's his double in the gold.
Gotcha. Perfect. Okay, perfect. Okay, that's excellent. Next is Lou.
Yeah.
We'll start with the first question because I got the little blurb for it. Lou, there we go. Which ink do they come from? White. This is your home, mostly. It's the only place you've ever known, really, but in light of certain events, you know that a part of you has always resided in gold. Still, you have friends, family, and a history in the white ink. It was here that you met Volos for the first time, but it was also where you met Kirby, Tom, Lou 2, and the entire party. Or green. This is your first time in another ink. You met a god here, and that seemed to have a really big impact. Ogma. He embodied so many of the things you care and hold dear. You care about and hold dear. You actually became a planar key here for a brief period of time, and you faced down Volos one-on-one, and you rebuked him. You witnessed the love between Azar and Zelaran, and you witnessed the Oberith, and you went to hell. Or blue. This is your most recent universe for the big adventure. You were a swashbuckling pirate. You sailed the seas, you learned a new method of healing, and met many mages of different temperances. You had a very tentative relationship with a god you weren't sure of, but I think in the end, you learned they were pretty neat. Vorgos the giant owl. Or gold. Gold is very unique to you. You know so little of it from your time being there, but you've learned that a large piece of you has always been here, or has come from here, and the warmest feeling of mutual love has been from Lucia, which is a piece of you in some way. Or, I mean, if it's not a piece of you, you were a home to that piece kind of thing. It's where you became the gold planar key and realized how natural that felt. So, which ink does the person come from?
Oh, for this mission, the green ink.
Green. Okay, and now we can go to the questions. The measure of their courage.
Yeah.
So this is, do you kind of know?
Yeah.
Perfect.
I think that they would, so it's the reaction to death, right?
Yep.
So I think that they would approach it fundamentally with curiosity, fighting along the way to stay alive and learn more, but accepting death with curiosity.
Very interesting. I love that. Okay, the next question, the measure of their mind. So this is how they utilize their mind. As a weapon, as a passive, or is it instinct?
Right. I think their mind is like their whole self. Like they'll forget about their body entirely in favor of the mind. And it's their main tool, whether it's a weapon or or otherwise kind of thing, just getting by. It's the main part of themselves.
Very interesting. Next question, the measure of their faith. This is their conviction.
I think they have conviction for their main belief, but like the beliefs around it would fluctuate with new information. So there's a core that is always true, and then everything around it can be changed. So they couldn't be convinced that their system of thinking was wrong, just lacking information.
Okay. Perfect. And then the last question, the measure of their heart. Is the person kind or cruel in intent?
Well, I think for this person, can I say that suffering isn't really a factor to them? Like so maybe then they're cruel through by indifference kind of thing. Like they just do not care. It's not about that. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. And that would be kind of the definition of cruel, right? But I mean, that's, but yeah, no, okay, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not enjoying the suffering.
No,
it's
exactly.
Just,
that's malicious.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I love it. So it sounds like you kind of have an idea for this character.
I do, yes.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about it, or do you want to kind of build it in the downtime?
I'll build it a little more.
Yeah, that sounds perfect. Okay, Galdrick, last one. Let's give you your little blurb about the inks and see if anything strikes home for you. So, which ink do they come from? White. This is not necessarily your home now, but it is the primary location for the collection. It's been home base for a while, but with your restored memories, you know that this is not where you originally came from. But that doesn't mean that it doesn't matter. Many friends have come from here, and it's where your journey started. Or green. This was not your first adventure into another ink, but it was the first time you fused to the skin that you were in and lost your angelic powers. It was here that you first met the Oberith and contended with the forces of absolute destruction. This was also your first time going to hell and being the servant of a demon rather than fighting them. Blue, and now this is your home. This is, with your memories returned, you know that this is home and your creation. You were and are the force of creation and judgment in that realm. Everyone and everything in it came from you, and you know full well the capability of the people within its realm. Or gold. And this is still definitely the most mysterious ink. You spent so little time here that you can't really account for the people, methods, histories, or futures of the world. The one big standout is that you definitely love the aesthetic. Which ink do they come from?
Probably the gold.
Perfect.
I'm just kidding. Go fuck yourself. I'm not doing it. I'm absolutely kidding. I hate you. I think it makes the most sense to pick somebody from the white because there's a lot of worlds, a lot of corporations, a lot of similar vibes.
Yeah, super true. Super true. Okay, so then the next question is the measure of their courage, how they face death. How do they face? Do you want to read the little prompts?
How do they face death? I would say kind of similar to what Slump said. They're a fan of the tactical retreat, but will go down with the ship once it's time.
Okay.
They're not eager for the warrior's death.
Gotcha. Okay, perfect. The next question is the measure of their mind, and this is how they utilize their mind. Is it a weapon? Is it a passive boon? Is it not really an aspect and they more react or with instinct?
I would say the mind is this person's strongest tool.
Very interesting. Next question, the measure of their faith. This is about their conviction.
I would say he has had strong convictions growing up, lessons from daddy that he believes in and has a very strong conviction type.
Very interesting. Okay. And the final question, the measure of their heart. Are they kind or are they cruel?
Somewhere in the middle, I would say.
Okay,
They're not overly kind to where he's not Galdrick to where he's, he always tries to do right by everybody sort of thing.
Yeah.
He's perfectly content inflicting a bit of pain if the pain is deserved. Like the thing, like, oh, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. He would wish things like that on his worst enemy.
Okay, gotcha. I would wish that on my worst enemies.
Yeah, but not his worst enemy.
Okay,
like
chat. We're gonna spend the rest of the party over at Techsmith's channel, okay? So go over there and spam some hearts. I will see you later this weekend for another sneaky weekend stream, chat. Make sure you click that follow button for my bop bop if you want to see more D&D and a potential future campaign with the other folks listed on the screen. Okay, I love you, chat. I'll see you soon. Bye.
Have a huge arsenal of characters.
Totally. I mean, you can always make a new one inspired by another character or whatever, and you don't have to iron it out right now. So basically, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send you guys these prompts and your responses to help